Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly chapter master today because today we are going to be creating some characters for our summer campaign that we'll be playing Fantasy Flight originally. Now it's Cubicle 7 that is publishing the Deathwatch RPG, originally published by Fantasy Flight, as part of their 5-part line of Warhammer 40K RPGs. This is the one featuring a bunch of Space Marines who are hunting Xenos and Chaos things. With me today are the stars of our Deathwatch campaign, as well as stars from our regular Friday night Warhammer campaign. I'll go the order. I've got you guys on the screen here. You obviously do not have your character as of yet. Why don't you tell us who you are? First up, we've got Jeffrey.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and I'm going to be playing a very tough Marine.
Nice. See, he claimed the tough one, guys, so who gets to play the tender one? Who gets to play the one who sings all the solos? Yeah. I might be thinking of a boy band instead of a kill squad. Hold on. Next up, while I'm thinking of that, is Sean.
Hey, I am thinking of playing a Raven Guard, so I'll be the sneaky one, maybe.
Very nice, very nice. Next up is our resident armor smith, our tech marine, Dave.
Hey everyone. I don't know. I thought for sure, like with all the talk in our chat, that James was going to play an Ultramarine. So I didn't even think about Ultramarine. So I had talking about Space Wolves, but now I might think, I don't know, Ultramarine.
That's a fine choice there. That's a fine choice.
Exactly. Maybe even a Dark Angel. I don't know. Sure.
Last, but certainly not least, is James.
Hello. So there's me, and I'm going to play an Exorcist.
Very nice. Very
and
nice.
We will not talk about what the chapter does.
I will, at the outset, mention, maybe I should include in chat too, the Arbiter Ian YouTube channel has some fantastic chapter overviews, not only for individual chapters, for some of the oddball ones, all the original legions, the original founding legions, as well as the second founding. He's got some terrific overviews of this stuff. So if you do want to learn more about that, I'll include a link to his YouTube channel down below, though you probably are aware of it if you're into 40K and watching this video anyway. So guys, we have character sheets set aside for everyone. You know that you are playing Space Marines in this, but what do you guys know about the Deathwatch in general? The organization that this game is named after.
Don't look at Jeff.
This would be your opportunity to really make things up, you know. Well, there's Space Marines who wear a chronometer that ticks down until they die. I think that's what a Deathwatch is. So the Deathwatch is a organization of Space Marines drawn from different chapters and seconded to one of the factions of the Inquisition. The primary role of Deathwatch is as a foe of the Xenos, of the aliens that are a threat to humankind's existence. That task is expanded a bit in this game to also cover agents of chaos as well. The default setting for the Deathwatch is, for this RPG at least, is a place called the Jericho Reach, which is a lost sector that was rediscovered and accessible by this enormous kind of like Xenos created gate. And there are sort of 3 forks of stars and systems that called salients that make up kind of the setting. One of the salients happens to sort of be dominated by Tyranid. One of them happens to be dominated by Tau. So there's your 2 Xenos things. And the third one, which we are going to concern ourselves with, is the Acheron salient, I believe it's called. Acheros salient, which is concerned with chaos. The people who are seconded to the Deathwatch are typically not junior, Marines. They're not in the scout. If the relevant chapter happens to have a scout into regular Marine, advancement system, they're typically more advanced Marines, but it can be kind of from anywhere, a couple of battles under your belt to, hundreds of year old veterans who are seconded to it. And the time that you are seconded to the Deathwatch, you forego any kind of markings that would attribute you to your own chapter, except for a marking on one of your pauldrons. So we will probably use images of your characters wearing the original colors, because otherwise we're going to have a bunch of headshots of guys in black armor, and you will be indistinguishable. So for the purpose of clarity, we will still keep that, but in your mind's eye, just bear in mind that you are wearing your full black, kind of Deathwatch armor with only the markings of your chapter on the one shoulder. Any of the Space Marine chapters that are not Trader Marines can be called on, and that can at times cause certain chapters who would not otherwise get along to be forced to work together. So there are some chapters that will absolutely, that do not have the tradition of a librarian or psychers and find them anathema. They sometimes have to work with those, because it doesn't mean they have to like it, but they are forced to work alongside them. So whatever chapter you choose to play from is absolutely fine. You all are in service to the Emperor through the indirect route of the Inquisition anyway, so you're going to have to listen to them anyway. The other way you distinguish your characters is that your choice of specialty or speciality. Specialty? I don't know. Specialty, I think. Yeah, specialties. Specialty you can think of as like career or class. When you go along and as you gain XP, there you go. Play the the Black Templars. Yeah. Speaking of not getting along with psychers, the specialty you pick to start with is not necessarily the one you have to stick with as you go along. There are elite specialties and elite advancements you can get into, but these you can think of as your starting class, and they are sort of broad, not archetypes, but sort of like the broad specialties, I guess, that the Space Marines go into. Those specialties are Apothecary, so your healer; Assault Marine, so kind of the jump troopers; Devastator Marine, your heavy weapons Marine; Librarian, the psychers and seers and wizards among the Space Marines; the Tactical Marine, kind of all-purpose, more strategy, I guess, minded; the Tech Marine, which is the fixer-upper of the things. You get a nice handy big, servo claw on the back of your armor. And the idea is you pick your chapter, you pick your specialty, and then there's going to be some other ways your characters are customized, like your values, like the history of your armor. Your armor will have a history behind it that will have an impact on the machine spirits that are within that power armor. And yeah, that's how we have your four different Marines created, and together you make up the kill team that is sent out on missions for the Deathwatch. Because we're starting with brand new characters, I think you guys may all assume that you are recent conscripts into the Deathwatch. So the fact that you do not know one another and the fact that you have not worked with each other together before, everybody will be new to the Deathwatch. Any questions then, guys, about anything I've said thus far before we dive into the decisions we need to make for CareGen? Nada? For those who are more knowledgeable in 40K, anything I missed in my summary?
Pretty good.
Nope. I think that was a good one.
All right. And guys, let's see here. Burn the heretic, kill the mutant, purge the unclean. Yep, that is getting in the spirit. One thing too that is emphasized in the game, I think that it would be easy to think of this as just effectively like, tactical miniature game, the RPG, because you're playing Space Marines and there's a lot of combat and whatever else. A big part of making this game work is the personalities that you bring to your characters. It's easy to think of the Space Marines as, ungodly, superhumans who have been transformed and blah, blah, blah. Remember that they were humans at one point, and they remain with many of there's things that they have been purged of, like fear and whatnot, but they have interests. They will not get along with some of their coworkers. They'll really get along with some of their coworkers. There's things they enjoy or love and things that they detest. Feel free to lean into who your character is as a way of emphasizing opportunities for everyone else to play off of that stuff. So just because you are part of this, if you want to think of it, any World War II film where they've got a squad and there's the chatty guy, there's the nervous guy, there's the book smart guy, feel free to just steal from that if you are finding yourself struggling to figure out who or what you're going to play. So we've got some chapters selected already. James, you've landed on Exorcist for sure. Sean, you've landed on Raven Guard for sure. Dave, have you landed on anything as of yet?
Not yet. I've got some ideas. So
okay.
Yeah. I'm narrowing it down. Actually, my list is growing, but
that is a bit of a problem with this one. So Jeff, let's help Jeff figure out what he's going to play or what he'd like to play first, because then it gives us a chance to talk about the setting and whatnot. James, you had mentioned before that you were interested in playing a librarian.
Yep.
Okay, so
yeah, as long as I get decent willpower, yes.
Well, I mean, we can put our thumb on the scale for that. So. And then, Sean, I'm not sure. Have you given thought to? I see a jump troop in the background there. Are you thinking a assault marine?
And that list is in the core, I assume.
It is, yeah.
Let's see.
You're telling me you weren't hanging off my every word when I was telling you the 5 specialties, Sean? I'm shocked. I say.
You did. I did hear it, and yet.
So starting on page 68. The specialties will be Apothecary, Assault Marine, Devastator Marine, Librarian, Attack Marine, or Tech Marine.
Gotcha.
So, I'll let you think about it. Dave, do you have a feeling of who you would like to play or what role?
Well, does Jeff have an idea of, does he want to be like a giant hulking?
Yeah, Jeff, what kind of you want to play? Okay, if you want to play a support role, the Apothecary and the Tech Marine both really fill that role quite well. If you want to play someone who is more frontline, the Assault Marine kind of does that. If you want to be the heavy weapons dude, then the Devastator Marine is the choice for that. If you want to be an all-around versatile guy, that is the Tactical Marine.
I'm kind of leaning assault or
Marine?
Devastator.
Okay,
like
so a
that.
specialty troop.
Yeah.
So for Sean and for Dave, does that help narrow your options in?
Let's see.
I could do tactical.
Okay. So if you're doing tactical, then that leaves Assault Marine and Assault and Devastator is what Jeff is thinking. I think that Devastator definitely does not. I mean, the Raven Guard can absolutely have a Devastator Marine. I mean, they're troopers as well too, but they're more of a, like you said, a more sneaky, assaulting, ambushing type more so than other ones. So that might be Apothecary, Assault. Tech Marine is also kind of a fun. It's playing against type for some of these is kind of fun as well. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, I'll play the Devastator. I think actually.
Heavy, okay. So then that leaves you, Sean. What are you thinking? We got a Devastator Marine, Attack Marine, and a Librarian.
So I guess assault fits.
Nice. Okay.
It's best, yeah.
So then, Dave, what are you thinking? If you're playing Attack Marine, what chapter would you like to hail from?
Well, it's interesting that you said just now the playing against the tropes.
Yeah.
And James totally loves the Ultramarines, so I think I might have to play like a salty Ultramarine who was like, not fitting the royal or like the standard Ultramarine.
Yeah.
Like great good guy. So he was like, "Oh yeah, you're definitely going to the Deathwatch because we need to get you out of here."
So Deathwatch is seen more often than not as a favored position. It's not like a penal battalion.
Correct, but not having a guy that doesn't fit with the rest of the troops.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, then that would be a good. Yeah. Yep, that makes sense. Okay,
so Ultramarine who's not very Ultramarine-like.
Yeah, the Ultramarines are sort of the. They have become the sort of exemplar of what an ideal Space Marine can be seen as, Jeff. That doesn't necessarily... It also happens to be they were the ones at the end of the heresy with the most of them around and who also seem to be very keen on telling other people what to do. So you can really see it one way of them being the ideals, or, when you set the ideals, it's hard not to live up to them. I know James is just fuming right now, but...
Ultramarine, best Marine.
Exactly. Oh, boy. It's like setting your rules of like, okay, so the best thing to be, guys, is a guy's named Kev. And let's just test how everyone is doing on that. You guys have some work to do to live up to my Ultramarine standard.
And your Primarch is top Primarch as well.
So then, Jeff, what kind of... let's talk about the ones that are in the core book, maybe to start with. There are the Black Templars, who are kind of religious fanatics. Let's see here. I don't think they do not have... Oh, you cannot be a Devastator. Never mind. There are the Blood Marines, or say the Blood Angels. The Blood Angels are a legacy of a Primarch called Sanguinius, who has gifted them with what they call the Red Thirst. You can go berserk at times. Whoa. That is the Blood Angels. There is the Dark Angels, who are I'm trying to think how best to put them. They're descended from a planet. Their Primarch came from a planet where there was horrible fucking monsters and there were siege cities, and they had a legacy of knights going out and fighting the monsters. So when he was rediscovered, he was brought back in, and they've adopted many of those things. The Dark Angels also have a very, very dark secret that they are quite protective of, so they are quite secretive. Turns out that a lot of them turned traitor at the end of the Horus Heresy, or at least that's the one way of phrasing it. The other way of understanding it is that the Imperium completely fucked over their planet, and they rightfully said, get fucked, and then they had their planet destroyed at the end of the heresy. So, tomato, planet destroying tomatoes. There's the Space Wolves, who are just space Vikings, basically. There's more to them than that, but not much. They're pretty much just like that. There's the Storm Wardens, who are kind of a unique chapter created for this game that have a strong Celtic kind of vibe to them. They come from a planet with a lot of lightning and shit like that on it. And that's it. And there's the Ultramarines, who Dave is playing. There are a bunch of others, but do any of those really stand out to you? The Blood Angels, the Dark Angels, the Space Wolves.
The Ultramarines are pretty cool, too.
Yeah, and we can't have two characters from the Ultramarine. Like, the character generation...
And I can pick one of the other three that I was hemming and hawing on. So.
Well, you can also have two Ultramarines too, and that, like, if you're going to be someone who is not Codex compliant, that's going to be an interesting thing to play off of anyway, because you got the by the book guy and you got the guy who's like, let's be fast and loose. What do you think, Jeff? If not those, then let's do this. We'll go. What about James and Sean and Dave? Any favorite Space Marine chapter that we haven't spoken of yet that you think would be cool to see him play?
I'd mention two because they're also sort of main ones in the game.
Yeah.
There's the salamanders, who are the big
Yeah.
ash black guys who tend to carry the big flamers, and that they're the sort of nicest of the psychopathic space marines.
Yeah.
They actually vaguely worry about humans.
Yeah.
And the others would be the Imperial Fists, who are the big, the siege guys, and
Yeah.
that might fit with the Devastator.
Yeah, definitely. That's that way you're playing 2 type for sure. I'm trying to find.
Those are in the first founding, I believe.
Yeah.
The Imperial Fist.
Yeah.
Both
of those.
Oh, both. Oh. I
What
think
about
that's the other
Dave or
big-
Sean? Any particular favorite chapter for you guys? I'm trying to find the one that I like, because I always forget what their name is.
I think the Imperial Fists get a whole bunch of stuff in Rites of Battle as well.
Yeah. Imperial Fists are on page 44 of the Rites of Battle.
Oh, wait. Should I look in first founding or?
Well, we'll see. Dave or Sean, is there any particular chapter you really love that you want to throw in the ring here?
And the White Scars are also in the first founding. They're the chapter that my Raven Guard does not get along with.
They're basically space Mongols. They use motorbikes instead of what do you call it? Horses.
Yeah, we have a centuries-old rift that, who knows if anyone knows what it's about anymore, but...
If you ask either of them, they'll tell you it's the other one's fault in any event.
Right. You ask them.
Yeah. They know!
So if you want a top knot, and a Harley, then they're the guys.
Definitely. Yeah.
You wanted that top knot.
Well, maybe they're not in here. I mean, there's the Kakarodons. The Kakarodons are space sharks. They used to be called space sharks, and they were renamed to the Kakarodons. They're pretty fucking crazy as well. And their gene seed corrupts them a bit, so their eyes are jet black, like a shark's. What was that, Dave? Sorry, I interrupted you.
I was gonna. No, I thought there was a pause. And I was trying to jump in, but I didn't realize you keep going. Alpha Legion, they're traitor, but possibly still loyal. How does that work?
I don't.
They get shot.
Yeah, Alpha Legion generally they're one that just they disguise themselves as other chapters at times as part of their plans, and often betray. They're listed in first founding, but they're not playable.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. At least I don't think.
I'm just looking at the 40K wiki and
no,
listing in the first founding, and it says traitor, possibly still loyal.
Yeah, but half of those are kind of right out.
Primarchs are dead, so okay.
The Lunar Wolves. How did things work out for them? I'm trying to remember.
Bombarded on a planet, something like that.
I think that's Horus's Legion, isn't it? The Lunar Wolves. Yeah.
Lunar Wolves,
Yep.
But anybody who was good was left on the planet and bombarded, right?
Yeah, I think, and it might have been, I can't remember who it was, but it might have been one of them who was the founder of the, what are the crazy psychic demon hunting ones? Something Knights.
Oh, the Grey Knights.
Grey Knights. Yeah, wasn't it one of them that became the founder of the Grey Knights?
I'm not sure. Good question.
Anyway, do any of those appeal to you, Jeff, for your Devastator?
Just kind of looking at them. Sure. I think I'll go with a salamander.
Oh, well
nice.
done.
Salamanders are pretty fucking cool, and they love using flamer weapons. So, if you
Salamander's
want a
great.
heavy flamer, that'll definitely fit with a salamander. Then I think we've got our
Can I change
Devastator. Yeah, absolutely, Dave. What are you thinking?
I'm going to go back to Black Templars.
Oh, a Black Templar attack marine?
Yeah.
Okay. That is going to make for, you know what? I'm just going to do one thing here. I'm just going to separate your character here from James's character. In the interest of comedy in the kill squad, because I imagine those two characters may not get along.
What do you mean?
Yeah, the Black Templar will hate everyone else.
All right, then, guys, let's talk about making characters then. So, you each have your character sheets. I think we all want to roll at the same time. So,
Yeah.
what we'll do is, because you guys are going to have to be typing into chat to roll dice. Guys, stage 7 is where we get to play Deathwatch. So we just need to get to stage 7. If we successfully make it to stage 7, we'll be able to play some Deathwatch. All right, so all of our stats are 2d10 plus 30, 3-0, I believe. Yes. Generating characteristics. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, guys, is we'll just go down the line here. Everyone will roll one at a time here. So let's roll for here. First up, weapon skill. Go ahead, guys. 2d10 plus 30, 3-0. That's 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Go
Wow.
enter that in your character sheet. Good
The
thing.
heavy weapon specialist with a 32 in weapon skill.
No, weapon skill is melee. Ballistic
good.
skill is next. This is the one where you would probably want to excel. Well, I mean, I don't know. You know,
How do I enter this? Wait, what?
You put it in the starting box. Underneath
Big
the
number. There's a little box.
yeah.
box.
What?
It's a thing that says starting, a little grey box on the.
Oh, there. I'm like, yeah, I clicked on the other box and it did not like it. Okay. There we go. Fixed it.
Okay. And then we're rolling ballistic skill when you're ready.
Cancel.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I might have to change what I am.
I mean, you just have your. Make sure you stick to area effect weapons. You'll be fine.
Oh,
You're a Devastator Marine. Okay. Everyone enter. Oh, 2d10, not 2d6.
Oh, yeah. You're
sorry.
handicapping yourself, James.
Remember,
You still rolled as good as me.
if you hit the up arrow, it'll repopulate with the last thing you rolled, right?
No, absolutely. But I screwed that up. I clicked on something else, and therefore my up arrow didn't work. And then I
got it.
panicked and.
All right. Well, that's, I mean, better result. So there you go. Next up, guys, strength. 42,
Holy Toledo.
35, 43.
I'm not going to be able to hold my heavy weapon.
All right. So that's 4 generated. Next up is toughness.
How do you guys keep rolling over 40?
Yeah.
There you go. 43 for your toughness.
Okay, I told you I was tough. That's all I got.
Yep.
Just take a beating. What he does.
Okay. So we just need.
Did you put a mod on my sheet,
There you
Ken?
go. There is an automatic mod. There are certain modifiers and certain skills that each Space Marine starts with. Don't untick anything that is there and leave anything that is entered right now, please.
Okay.
Man, Sean is crazy.
I'm doing pretty well right now, yeah.
Yeah, you got like over 45 3 times already.
Yeah.
This sheet, incidentally, was updated on April 5th this year. So,
Oh,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Oh, wait, sorry, Julie. Behind the times here. I'm busy seeing how good everyone else is. Holy Toledo!
Look
I am
at that.
agile.
Wow.
Okay, I'm making a different. I'm not holding a big gun. I'm gonna move really fast.
There we
Yep.
go.
Both of us exceeded in the one we don't want.
Intelligence.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think that's why you
need this
pick your
one.
specialty after you roll this.
Quite.
Yeah. Well, I think because I'm fine with you guys swapping skills
Rolls.
around. Yeah, it's fine. You're all rolling the same
Yeah.
thing anyway, so this is just a good starting point. Okay, so there's 4. All right, we got an intelligence. Next up is perception.
There we go. My worst.
Right at the even.
I got below 40 and I am outraged.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you finally rolled below 40.
What were you paying for that pro
we feel
subscription
bad
for,
for
Sean?
you.
Come on.
Yeah, we feel so bad for your
Another 30.
Next one,
Adonis.
36.
willpower.
What is this hiker?
Oh man, I am just a loser.
43. And 42. Okay. Next up, fellowship. Actually, that's the last one.
Oh, but I really worship my friends or whatever fellowship does for me.
Okay. Fellowship is
I'm
your
religious.
It's your charisma stat. Fellowship is social interaction. Let's do this.
I'm a bard.
You're going to be
That's
able
okay, I'm a
to
bard.
pick to swap 2 sets of stats. So if you got 2 that you want to swap over to something else to fit the concept, please feel free to do that. Just remember, all stats will come into play in different ways in this. Even though you guys are giant hulking space marines, Fellowship is not a dump stat.
Absolutely right. Okay. Well, then, if I was gonna play a what was it
Devastator?
called? A devastator. What do I need to be a devastator? Ballistic skill.
Ballistic skill, yep, is important. And
Or is there something else that's more important?
ballistic skill, strength, perception are the cheapest stats for you. So those are your primary ones.
Okay, so I should make those nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So then,
Are you going to be a Salt Marine?
what? No, I thought I was going to be a devastator or whatever it's called.
Sean. Was Sean?
Oh, John.
What's the question?
Are you being an Assault Marine?
I'm being an assault. Assault.
Okay, hold on. I got this.
Okay.
Yeah, Jeff, you should look at the picture of the Devastator in the book. It's pretty awesome. On page 77.
Assault.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. Okay, so we got stats done. Next thing we need to do is, let's see here, select chapters.
right.
So each of your chapters will give modifiers for your stats, and I believe will give you, it might give you some training and skills. Let's see here, I can't remember. Here we go.
So chapter is Salamander? Is that
Chapter
correct?
Salamander, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Now then.
And then on the character, oh, you know what, I should open up, oh, you know, I've got some NPCs here, hold up. In these previous
Where does
things.
it tell you?
Where do we put our chapter?
Chapter is, let's see here.
Player name. Got that one figured out.
Skills. Oops. Oops. Get out of here. Cancel.
I see specialty.
Chapter.
I do not see where that goes.
No, I don't see any
Under-
particular.
Is it on journal? Because you got Primarch's Curse there. Chapter. It's on journal tab.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Journal.
Oh, nice. It's got drop downs too.
Wait, what?
Oh, no. I filled something in there. Never mind.
Oh, chapter.
Okay.
Okay, Salamander.
Okay. And, Salamander, I think, are in Rites of Battle.
Yeah, I got it open.
Awesome. Okay, so what you're going to record from here is the stat modifiers from it. Each chapter, I believe, has a curse as well.
So where do you see the? I don't see where it's telling me my my stat modifiers.
Hold up, it'll be a call out in a box. Let's see here, Salamander. It's Imperial Fist. Oh, it's in.
You see my names. Oh yeah. I'm just gonna roll a D10. Hold on, I got a name generator chart.
Oh, nice.
And
Generator?
I'm in. 4. Keystan.
Okay.
Oh, man.
So salamanders.
Oh.
Aha.
Salamanders are on page 22 of First Founding. You will gain +5 to your toughness, +5 to your
Intelligence. Oh, I see it.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, I see that.
You gain under the what is it? Abilities tab. If you go into the solo mode, you'll be able to add in what your solo mode ability is. Some of you might also get bonus talents, like the Salamander gets Resistance Heat talent. You also have every one of the, it's not called a curse, it's your demeanor. You'll have an individual demeanor and you'll have a chapter demeanor, and once per session you can call on one of those to re-roll something as if you were spending a fate point.
And those characteristic modifiers, they go
to the base stats.
Oh, they do go to the starting?
Yeah.
The starting, oh. Okay.
Abilities.
Okay.
Wait. Is that what these? What? Yeah. Okay.
Come on.
What are you looking for, Jeff?
Where to put this firstborn thing?
Fireborn. You go to
Fireborn. Yeah, Fireborn.
Go to abilities, and then make sure it is on the solo mode rather than squad mode. And you'll be able to enter it there on the bottom, like the first bottom left. There's a space you can put that in.
Solo mode, that's under combat?
Under abilities.
Oh, under abilities, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Specialty and chapter abilities. Oh yeah, okay. Plus, got it.
Okay.
Fireborn.
Master of Shadow.
And that'll be on 44? 24 is where your Fireborn ability is.
Got it.
Cool. Awesome.
So,
and then you're going to get the heat resistant talent for free as well as a salamander. Talents are what serve as like feats or advantages in this game.
oh, I see. Resistance, heat, talent.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's under talents. Resistance.
And there was a +20 in strength on my sheet.
Me too.
Did you put that there, or
No, again, guys, the character sheets include the modifiers that you get as a Space Marine.
okay? So that's
We're just strong.
that's
yeah.
standard. Okay, so then the
It's the
additional
way the
modifiers
sheet.
from
You have an ability called Unnatural Strength. It doesn't increase your strength by that, but you double your strength bonus, and that's what it should do that for you.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'm on page 38 of the main book, and I'm looking at Black Templars, and it says +5 weapon skill, +5 willpower,
Yep.
and the Righteous Zeal solo mode ability.
And the Yes, the righteous zeal. So again, go to abilities, go to solo mode, and you're going to enter the solo squad, the solo ability there. Ooh, you guys have some changes to your implants as well. So, although Black Templars possess both Betcher's gland and Susan membrane implants, their zygotes are significantly deficient, so you do not gain the benefit of either of those. I think on the character sheet it shows what all of those do. If not, I think I got a handout here that shows what all the various glands and stuff do.
Okay, so I start with a since I have a past.
I do. Look at this, guys. There you
5.
go.
The burning wall.
There's all the Space Marine abilities.
Nice.
Okay.
And then your demeanor goes under the journal tab as well for chapter demeanor.
What do we add a +5 to our, like, to weapon skill to
the base? So take your whatever you rolled for or assigned as your base, just add 5 to that.
Add it to the starting. Okay.
Yeah.
405.
Okay. Let me see here.
And I'm in solo mode, but I don't see righteous zeal.
You got to add it probably with that plus sign.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was making.
Here, what I can do. Oop. I thought I did. Headshots. I think I've got headshots for some of your.
So it says
already.
here, I rolled this. I partook in a burning walk.
What are you rolling, Jeff?
I had a past. It said to roll past experience.
Oh, hold off on rolling that. We'll roll all of that at.
Okay.
That's in part 6. Yeah, just hold off on doing that. Have you got everything entered for your chapter?
Well, that was after the box, right?
So what you're going to enter for your chapter is what is in the box there. You're going to enter your Promethean cult as a demeanor. Have you done that?
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, that was just underneath the. Sorry, it's like I don't know the sheet and the
guys. I'm finding I'm repeating myself quite a bit here right now. So I know there's a lot of stuff to read, but when I'm trying to tell you guys something, can you please try and listen to it so we're not saying it over and over again? When you are entering the things you're going to get from your chapter, stat modifiers, one solo mode ability, and then you're going to get your chapter demeanor, not your personal demeanor, chapter demeanor, which is entered under your journal.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So the journal will have your chapter and it'll have your chapter demeanor, which is, it's not called the demeanor, but it'll be like the Promethean cult or the righteous, whatever is zealous or righteous zeal. And then your solo mode will be entered under abilities. Once all that's entered, then we'll deal with the next step in this.
Got it.
Okay? Yeah, and that's bang on, Dave.
So let me go to 101. 101.
Okay.
So when you're saying that's zealous, that's what you're referring to, that I need to, is my demeanor that I need to put into my character on the journal page?
Let's see here. Zealous Zealous, the one that is on page 40, Zealous is a demeanor unique to Space Marines from that chapter. What you've got listed there, Dave, I think is the righteous zeal. That is their solo mode ability.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
What
that's
you see,
perfect.
chapter demeanor I have to put in.
Chapter demeanor, please. Yeah, that's your zealous. The
It's very long. the
Black
text
Templars
part.
are. Oh yeah, just cut and paste it from the PDF.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying that like the text is very long.
Yeah. Okay. How are our Exorcist and Raven Guard coming along?
Good.
So annoying.
We've
It's
got the
nothing like picking non-standard. It comes with a price.
Yep. Okay.
I'm just, I'm not sure what about the
Exorcist?
solo role, but there's a default demeanor, chapter demeanor, so I'm just pasting that in.
Is that from? So I think some of the
That's from onto the chapter. That's their sort of the standard. You know, if you don't have something, then
Oh,
pick
okay.
this.
Is that how that works with the successor chapters?
Yeah, because you don't, in theory, know who the original chapter of the Exorcist was. Maybe the Ultramarines, maybe not.
Okay.
I think this will work. This close enough for government work. Primarch's Curse on 101. Copy. I may have to figure out the. I don't think I have a special ability.
Let's see here.
Talent, so that's okay. Doesn't really matter.
Well, no, because the solo mode is.
Oh yeah, I could pick anything from one. I think from the thing. So I'll just finish pasting this in, and I'm back.
Wait a second.
Copy.
Oh, this is our chapter demeanor, right? That we were putting this in this box?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what fine.
Yes, sir.
Your Codex Demeanor is on page 100 of Honor the Chapter. You pick one of those.
All right. Okay.
So that's where the demeanor comes from.
Oh yeah, you could get it from the core rule. So what did I do for demeanor? I took calculating from the core rule book.
Well, no.
So you pick one of those or the ones from the core rule book. It says. Codex Battle Lines, we use the example given there, the core rule book.
Oh, got it.
In addition
Okay.
to the ones below.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
It sounded the closest to what the
The
description
Exorcist
of
are like. Okay.
the Exorcists are like.
And then Raven Guard, you got your stuff set up as well?
I think so. I
Okay.
guess I just haven't chosen my personal. I'm choosing from that table of 10 that James was just referring to.
So where's calculating? Where's that defined? A demeanor 32.
So
I'll do the same thing.
for personal demeanors, guys, I believe you pick that later in the process. So we don't need to pick that right now.
Oh, shoot. Okay, sorry.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
okay. So guys,
I think it's the
led me
sheet
astray.
that messes us up, Kev, because of the order of the
James,
stuff on the
please.
sheet.
yeah, so then what we can do, if you want to follow along, page 26 is where we are.
Yeah, I do have that open. This is on the other PDF.
Okay.
So
Here's
Okay.
what we're doing next then, guys. So we have all our chapters in. We have all our chapter abilities, soul abilities, demeanors. Yes?
yeah,
Excellent. Next is specialty. So, your specialty involves the selection of a... You're going to spend some XP, but we're not doing that yet. It will involve a selection of a special ability, and you get some starting skills. So, the Assault Marine, you gain Pilot Personal as a trained skill. So you can tick trained on Pilot Personal. And then you can pick one of those 3 special abilities on page 73 of the core book. does not look like you get any starting skill there, Devastator. You just pick one of the special abilities on page 77. Librarian's a little more complicated. You get Synescience as a trained advanced skill. And you get a psi rating of 3 and 3 techniques from that first page on page 81. Actually, it's not that much more complicated. And then, Dave, for you, you begin with Command as a trained advanced skill, and then pick one of the special abilities on page 85.
And as a advanced skill?
Yeah, Command as a trained advanced skill.
It's in the basic list, though.
Command is?
Yeah.
Could be... Oh, I didn't grab my errata. It could just be referred to incorrectly.
Okay, so I could just... But tick it off as trained?
Oh.
As trained, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know why it calls it advanced skill. Could be a typo.
Were there supposed to be other check marks already on my sheet?
Yes. The other check marks on your sheet come from the sheets again.
Yeah.
All the stuff
I'm just
that
making sure.
populates that's on there
anything.
is because it has been set up that way automatically by the sheet.
No, just making sure. I just... I looked at it, suddenly there's 10 check marks, and I'm like, I didn't do this.
Yeah, no. That's...
Not cheating.
Okay. All right. Guys, go ahead and, let us know what you selected as your special ability once you know. And if you have questions
so
about
this one's our specialty ability.
This will be... Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, okay.
By the way, Kevin, I'm just behind. I haven't done the solo mode thing, but I'll get that because there's not a default one, so I've got to figure that one out. But anyway, I'll get on with the special ability first.
Okay. No, go ahead and get that done, James. We're not in a rush here. Just because that way it'll just be done and you'll be ready to go then.
How the hell does this work? Solo mode.
Okay, I have just 2 choices, and one is solo mode and one is squad mode.
You are the Devastator. So...
Yeah.
The difference between solo mode and squad mode is when it's an actual rules mechanic. When the squad is working as a squad, you can only have one squad mode active, and generally it's whoever is leading the squad at the time that has to activate that. You expend, it's something like momentum that you generate, and you have to expend that in order to sort of activate it, and then everyone gets the whatever the ability is. You will be able to pick different squad mode abilities before you go out for a mission, and I believe there's some ones that you learn automatically as well as part of your chapter training. What the reference is to when you're in a squad mode or when you're in a solo mode is just, it means that it doesn't function in the other one.
Right.
So when you're in
So
solo
I'm either
mode...
hard to push around when we're acting by ourselves, or I can do 1 extra damage to the entire horde's magnitude.
Horde magnitude is the mechanic they use for swarms in the game. A horde is just a swarm of smaller thing, or like a squad in Star Wars FFG.
Right, there's 25 stormtroopers attacking
Exactly.
us.
Normally, individual weapons, like when absent any other special ability, you only do 1 horde damage to them. Because you only have to take down 1. It's special weapons or other things that get to do more horde damage, and that's like fucking mowing guys down.
Yeah, so I can do an extra point of damage for every hit.
With an additional D5 for every hit.
If I use a blast quality weapon.
Yes, if you're using a heavy weapon, which one are you looking at? Unrelenting Devastation?
Yeah. If it's a heavy weapon, it's 1 extra point for every hit. If it's a blast quality, it's 1d5 extra points of damage total instead of per hit.
Oh, I should grab... Hold on, I'm going to grab my errata. Because that's not what's read in mine, but I'm pretty sure this is like a first printing.
Oh, I'm just... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, James and I were talking about the errata before the session too, so I should have grabbed it. Whew. All right. Oh, you know, that actually might be wrong, Jeff. So what it is actually what's in my written one. When a Devastator Marine successfully attacks and damages a horde with a heavy weapon, he deals 1d5 additional damage to the horde's magnitude. This stacks with any other damage dealt to the horde, such as damage from a blast weapon or from a flame weapon. This additional damage applies per attack, not per hit.
Oh, okay. It's per attack instead of per hit.
Yeah.
So I just replace hit with attack.
It also does, you know, I'll flip you guys the errata.
Or just paste that, maybe just paste it in the chat and I'll just paste it in my sheet, the errated one.
Can't. It's,
it's a piece of paper. Oh,
yeah. I've got mine printed.
I got it.
But no problem here. Hold up.
Because I do think that one makes sense. I like it. I think if we do use squad mode, it makes my character, the Devastator, have a nice ability in that mode.
Yeah. Okay, Deathwatch Living Errata. There you go. Sorry, guys, I should have sent this. James and I were talking about this this weekend, so I should have fucking clued in and sent that. There you go. It's off to everybody.
I don't understand what this means, Kev. It says when initiating squad mode ability, the tactical Marine may share the benefits of his chapter squad's mode abilities with the members of the kill team as if they were part of his chapter. Is that just kind of like saying that normally it would have to be a bunch of people from the same chapters, Marines from the same chapter, but because we're all different chapters, we're ignoring that rule?
Exactly. That's my understanding of that rule, is that it allows basically, if you want to share your chapter's ability with everybody else in the squad, you play attack Marine.
Okay. And then, so this requires a hard -20 command test.
So what you know, I think it's a test. Like the way you go into squad mode is you either lose that I can't remember what it's called, the momentum thing, or you make the test. Like it's one or the other.
Okay.
But if you lose that, like you can take damage to that resource, and if you lose cohesion, I think is what it's called. If you lose that, then you actually drop out of squad mode. To give you an idea, Dave, so the Ultramarines squad mode ability.
Oh, I'm a Black Templar.
Oh, you're a Black Templar. Hold up. The Black Templar squad chapter ability is Armor of Faith. While it's in effect, the Battle Brother and those in support range gain +10 to resist psychic tests and add 4 to their toughness bonus when reducing damage from physical attacks, from creatures with a demonic trait, and from psychic powers.
So if we're fighting demons or psychers,
which is kind of what this campaign is going to be about,
then I step in with my squad mode, and so, but you can only have one squad mode active at a time?
Correct. Yeah.
Does that then mean that Jeff can't use his squad mode if we're using my squad mode?
No. So it's a good question. The difference is Jeff's ability only applies when you guys are in squad mode.
Oh, okay. So
his is not a squad mode ability.
Okay. It's not a squad mode ability. It just happens while we're in squad mode.
Yeah, like the two, at any given point, you're either going to be in solo mode or you're going to be in squad mode. If you're in squad modes, it means that like your cohesion matters, and those within a certain ability, whoever has activated that, their squad mode ability affects them. One of the neat things you can do when you are like getting ready for a mission is you pick what other sort of stratagems that you're going to bring with you. So, and then you can trigger those things, and typically it's the person who is the leader, which is often the attack Marine, who is going to be doing that. But I mean, if it's a more psychic focused thing, it might be the librarian who's the leader. There's a lot of different decisions you make for prepping for and over the course of play beyond just your individual character. Outfitting is a whole thing too.
I'm Sir Aquare if I want to be the leader. I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
Aquade.
How's that pronounced again?
Aquade.
I thought so. So does that answer your question, Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah, James, go ahead.
Sorry, on the solo mode, because I'm not anything, I looked on Rights of Battle for the generic stuff.
Yeah.
So there's one that stood out, so I'll just put that in chat. There's this.
Let's see.
Now, I've already got Psyniscient skill because I'm a librarian, but that's fine. But this seems to be the most
Oh, hell yeah.
appropriate.
Well, and the re-rolling this, the willpower test, yeah, that also. So your solo mode abilities are only active when you're in solo mode. But it's the thing that kind of makes you... So some of those ones were longer, I know, guys, than... I mean, the demeanor was the long thing for you, Jeff, but the solo mode is what the kind of special abilities you have when you're not acting as a squad. So it's part of the reason why it's a bit of a decision as to whether you go into squad mode or not.
Right.
Okay. So we got that answered. So you made
expertise then.
Which did you pick as your tact marine ability then, Dave?
Then I'm going to take tactical expertise.
Love it. Okay. What about Sean and James? Have you guys selected your special ability?
Wings of Angels.
Ooh, what does that do?
Adds 20 meters to the movement rate of his jump pack with a successful challenging pilot personal test. When making a charge whilst using this ability, the Space Marine adds an additional 1d5 damage to any melee attacks. It only functions in solo mode.
That is exceptionally badass. All right. And James, have you selected your 3 psychic abilities?
3, just quickly. I will pick Inspire.
Nice.
So I can bolster my comrades by sending them waves of reassurance and calm.
Yeah. Definitely what I think of when I think of The Exorcists.
I'll say, don't worry, boys. I've seen worse.
Which she can attest to. I will share the link to the Ian Arbiter's background on The Exorcist for Jeff and Dave if you want to learn. James is
like... My character will be like, no, I don't want to come.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Sorry, James, what were the other 2? Inspire.
Actually, what do you think on the other to make sense? Because this... I
mean, Avenger, I've seen... I think Sean made use of that the one time we played, and he played a librarian, and it's a pretty badass ability.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I should probably have one nuke one, because there's 2 nuke ones, Avenger and Smite.
And that will be against hordes versus against individuals. Because there is, just from the... we're not playing one of the pre-made adventures, but one of the... They do feature an awful lot of hordes. So I will likely be following that lead. Because it gives certain characters an opportunity to look like real badasses.
Oh, no. Then this is Avenger works.
Yeah.
Because I summon up Ancestor of his chapter, but I don't think I would. I would summon up the thing that we shall not talk about.
Yeah.
That's because reading the...
Well, I mean, that's not, there's nothing in the mechanics that tells us that's what it is. It's...
No, but I'll pretend that's what it is. Instead of the Ancestor, it's going to be the Demon.
Yeah, no, it looks like a heavy flamer. So that's...
Avenger I'll take. So we're going with Inspire and Avenger, and what's the last one?
Oof, a tough...
Iron Arm. What's
Smite
that?
For individual targets. Augury for hints about the future.
Yep. Just quickly going. What? Iron Arm 194. Come on, where is? What are you?
Ooh. So depending on your psychic rating, I guess, you can see what kind of forces you may be facing for augury. That's kind of cool.
Do you like that one?
I dig it, but do you guys think it'll be useful that way? Do you have another way of getting that? You also have someone who is it sounds like it's going to be built to be a reconnoitering sneaky dude, so you may have another way of securing that information without accessing the immaterium. Short range telepathy is pretty good if you want if your comm links go down for whatever reason.
What do you guys, particularly Sean, what do you fancy?
Give it to him one more time. I was looking at
There's telepathy, short range telepathy.
Reading is also pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, reading into their aura.
Yeah.
What page you on, James?
Sorry, 193.
Yeah, 81 and 193 are the two. This is the list, and then
Readings on. Oh, I think reading sounds good.
Yeah.
So inspire, reading, and Avenger. So I've got a bit of.
Also, remember, you're going to have some XP. I think 1,000 XP to spend, so you could buy another ability if you want to snag another one. And okay, so I think then everyone's got their special abilities and their specialty selected. That is awesome. Then, guys, returning to movement, wounds, fate, and experience points. Wounds, to determine, your wounds, roll 1d5 and add 18 to the result. This is the total number of wounds your character begins with.
Oh, it's not like based on anything. It's just a roll. Interesting. That's bad for Jeff.
I'm sure this will work out well for your Devastator.
1d5 plus 18.
Yeah.
That's, at least it's mostly base stat.
You just threw a dice at my head.
What? Why did I know that?
No slash R there, but
Oh. Well, you know, I thought it should be. Yep.
There you go.
Sounds about right.
Wounds.
I'm assuming that's on combat.
But you know, there's a button for it too. If you guys just use a button, I think to roll. Interestingly,
yeah, in the combat tab.
right in the character sheet in the right where you almost right next to where you'd write it in.
Oh.
Look at that.
If you please.
What?
So we see James. You're rolling for wounds.
Rolling for wounds, 1d5.
There's a button for it if you want, James. It's right next to where you
could be the
type
only
it in.
one. You could be the
Under
only
combat tab on the middle right combat tab.
below damage calculator under vehicles.
Oh,
There you go. 5.
Oh, look how pretty that is too.
I know. I'm so sad
roll.
now that I just clicked the
Pretty.
button.
Green.
Oh, you got better than I did too. I should have used the button.
Oh, the button
All right,
is
so everyone's got their
way better.
wounds. Now, your fate. Would everyone give us a D10 roll, please?
Okay.
Their fate roll.
Unless there's a button on there. If there's a button next to it, then definitely do that. I don't want to hear any. Oh, James, that is 3 fate points.
Wait, this was what we start with?
D10. No, there's a chart on page 27. 3 fate points.
God.
3 fate points for all 3 of you so far. Come on, rock the boat here, Sean. Let's see.
Come on.
3 fate points. Okay.
Where do you put fate points?
There's 2
Upper
spots.
combat tab, left middle ish.
Okay.
Cool or current? I guess current is 3.
Both.
Oh. Okay.
I think you can get more fate points, but in this one, this game, you kind of get like a free 1 per session because you can use your demeanor to do effectively the same thing you could do with a fate point. And you can use your personal demeanor or you can use your chapter demeanor to trigger that. All right.
It's got those cool eyes too on this sheet, kind of like Rogue Trader. There's some of those eyes to explain things, which is nice.
Awesome. Yeah. No, it's a really good sheet.
Yeah.
Okay, so then next is your movement, guys. This might be auto-calculated already. It's based on your agility bonus.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter, even though you guys wear power armor, because of one of your Space Marine implants, you don't have it reduced. Your movement is reduced by your power armor.
It looks like it's calculated.
Okay, fantastic.
50. That's
Next up, so I think there is a drop down thing at the top there for how experienced you are. For renown rank, right?
Yeah.
It's a rating, yeah.
Oh, okay, so renown is actually different from your XP, though.
Oh, okay, sorry, renown rank.
Yeah,
Yep,
renown
sorry.
rank will be initiated to start with. You guys have joined the Deathwatch. And then I think it's under Journal, maybe? Let's see here.
Insanity test.
We'll save those for...
Wait, sorry,
That's cool.
what's our renown rank? Or
I'm
the
looking
bottom one? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, XP is probably under the XP tab, Madison.
Right next to journal.
Yeah. So you guys have XP earned should be listed as 13,000 because you start with 12,000 that's been spent to build you up to this point, and then you get 1,000 extra that you get to spend.
Nice.
And that's funny. The video that I was watching of the guy building his character, he misread the thing and gave himself another 12,000. So it built 25,000 XP.
Well, that's, you know, any which way you can get a leg up, I guess. So
Yeah.
all right, so then the XP, guys. Here's one of the ways this differs from Rogue Trader. Your things you can spend it on, they begin on page 60. You guys are all rank 1. There are general Space Marine advances that all of you can spend on. There are Deathwatch advances that you can all spend on for rank 1. There are your chapter advances that you can spend your points on. And then you also have your specialty that you can spend your advances on. So 1,000 can be spent between any number of those. Rank 1 for your specialty, rank 1 for the general Space Marine, but rank 1 for Deathwatch, and then as well for your chapter. Just like in Rogue Trader, you got to buy them in order. So if you're buying a lower tier one, you got to buy the first one beforehand.
This is all on the skills tab, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Although I think you might enter them on the XP tab. I actually don't know. Let's see.
Oh, is it one of those like both? Like you add the
I think it's both.
and
Kind of like Rogue Trader, both.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
yeah, you have to like put it. If you wanted to track the XP, you have to add it on the XP tab
Yep.
and how much it costs. So that
Yep.
yeah. But you
Correct.
still have to change it somewhere else.
Yep.
So and then your Codex advances, James, will be on page 101 for the successors. Because I don't think successors have individual tabs.
Hang on, of which book?
Of Honor the Chapter.
All right, we talked that I would get the honor one would be the one out of Rites of Battle, the one which was the warp thingy.
For your
Page
Codex one?
42. Yeah, page 42 of Rites of Battle.
Oh,
The Demon Bane.
Yes, yeah, that makes absolutely, yeah.
does it
Yeah,
make sense
great.
that like I have 1,000 to spend and a lot of my things are like 500, 600, 800 points?
Yeah, you don't get an awful. You're picking like 2, maybe 3 things, depending if you're. The things that are cheapest are the things your character is supposed to be best at, as far as your specialty is concerned.
Oh,
But yeah, you're only
Okay.
going to grab like 1 or 2 things. Yeah, you don't
Okay.
start with an awful lot in this. But you'll.
Jeff's just getting started with some of those troop grousing, like, can you believe the quartermaster?
Oh, and you know what,
He's a
Jeff?
dick.
Page
no, I
25.
was just making sure I'm not doing something
Yeah.
wrong.
I'm just kidding.
Page 25 of First Founding is where the Salamander, the chapter advances are.
Yeah, that's where I'm seeing these things that are very expensive.
Yeah, so it's like 200 for common tech, 600 for tech use. If you want to make it easy, the easiest thing to do is take a look at your specialty, spend 1,000 points there. You're going to get XP as we play, and you'll be able to then spend more time figuring out. The specialty is a thing you're supposed to excel at, so if you want to nudge yourself a
Like
little further.
under Devastator,
Correct.
then is that what you mean? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then you can you have access to the rank 1 advances and the any of the characteristic advances too. Sorry, James, you had a question?
Yeah, I think somebody must have already answered this, but the way this sets up, it says I've got 13,000 to spend. So how do I get rid of my 12,000?
Let's see here.
Yeah. Oh, you could just do like starting or something.
Yeah, I think that's
you
how
just type
right.
it in
Okay,
and
I'll
then
put
just
that.
put 12,000.
Advancement name,
there you go.
starting.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good idea.
Unfortunately, this PDF ships really slow between pages, and so.
I blame the machine spirits.
Oh man, it's a slow.
It is thematically accurate.
Big PDF.
Did you make sure that you used holy oil on your computer before opening the PDF?
Oh my goodness.
Did
Okay,
you get-
these skills are even more expensive.
So the things then that you might want to consider focusing on are ballistic skill, perception, and maybe like a talent like mighty shot or cleanse and purify.
Oh, these are characteristic advances.
Yeah, those are characteristics under sin. So that'll be adding, I think, +5 for each of them. Is it +5 or +10? Probably +5,
Plus
right?
5. Yeah.
+5 can.
Oh, so if
Yeah,
I spent 200 experience on ballistic skill, I'll get +5 to my ballistic skill.
Yeah, you check that box. See the advances box
The
right in
advanced box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like rogue trade out.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
And then your talents are the things, they're the ones, especially for the fighty shit that you guys are each going to specialize in. That's where you get that stuff.
Ooh.
So like,
It's
Mike,
important for command, right?
Yeah.
what was that, Dave?
Fellowship is important for command.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So if I'm gonna use my tactical ability,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I'm going to be... The video game actually uses pretty much the same setup for this too. There's a Deathwatch, a tactical kind of little squad shooter kind of thing. Not squad shooter, it's a tactical RPG thing. But it's funny because it uses the same thing, and your characters are dog shit when you first start. But as soon as you start getting XP and you start being able to specialize, it gets pretty cool then.
Yeah.
So what you need to do then is just, as you're facing things, just say, please, sir, may I have another, to get that more XP, right?
No doubt.
There's actually, this is a non sequitur, but in both Spycraft and Fantasycraft, there's a fucking cool optional spend of your action points to add more enemies into a scene. If you feel like you're going to mow through them, because you get XP per encounter, right? You can spend things to get more enemies in. To be like, let's fucking give me something harder here.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, do I not have any skills really? No, not really.
You have
They're all talents that I could choose at level 1 for Devastate.
And this game doesn't use things like laser rifles or bolt or pistols or stuff like that. You just use your ballistic skill. You don't have individual combat skills.
Right.
You just get better at killing, either at range or up close. Because in the far future, in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. Not specialty wars. Oh, right.
Hold on.
Then we're going to be doing the personal demeanors, and you have an option to select or roll randomly for those. He said, knowing which option Jeff will pick. That's funny. When we did the Shadow of the Demon Lord or Shadow of the Weird Wizard character too, like there's the whole, like not the whole, but the last couple things you do is a bunch of like random personality stuff that you can roll up randomly, and I never roll those fucking things, but everyone in the group, all 5 or 6 players, everybody rolled theirs. So
nice.
Yeah.
They're fun to roll. Then you do what you're gonna do. But you roll and you.
And there's some unanticipated stuff that comes from that too. Yeah. It's funny. I went from on that while you guys are entering. I went from kind of coming in like, oh man, this game's so fucking combat heavy and blah blah blah. And then we got in and had one really good fight. I'm like, I just want to fucking beat you guys up for the next 8 sessions. Just nothing but beating you up. Combat is very fun in that game.
It is fun. It's fun.
All right, so does everyone have their XP spent? Or are you suffering over that?
2 more minutes.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I have some left. I think that'll build up, and I'll spend it after I get some more.
What did you go with?
I just bumped up my characteristics for now.
Okay.
The 3 core: my ballistic skill, my strength, and my perception.
Nice.
The ones that are important as a devastator.
Okay.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, I thought that would make sense. I'll pick up some more talents and stuff as we play, and I get to know how the game works. Because a lot of the talents are kind of like feats, and like they're a little more niche use once you understand the rules and read it and go, oh, I really like this one. It would make sense to me. And
yeah,
I don't know. Reading through a dozen talents right now isn't a great idea.
No, especially knowing how I think a lot of that comes down to synergy amongst the kill team as well. So seeing what other people do and whatnot, the game does encourage some great niche protection and teamwork, not just through the squad rules, but also through some other stuff. Yeah. The character sheet is really good too. I really like that. It's got the solo mode, squad mode thing is probably the trickiest thing to try and explain and track in person, and having it so that you can automatically toggle back and forth between the two is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, I'm quite tempted if I run this as well. Maybe I won't use Fantasy Grounds. Maybe this would be good too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, how is the Fantasy Grounds one? I imagine it's quite good.
Yeah, it's good, and it's you've got lots of various rules around, automatic fire or rest, and you can pick between which of the FFG games you want to use. So you can mix. You can say, I'll have Deathwatch, but I'm going to use the automatic fire from Black Crusade.
Nice.
And it automates.
Cool.
And perception.
We may have already discussed this, but I'm seeing on page 36, all Space Marine characters in Deathwatch begin with Common Lore Deathwatch,
which I think
Forbidden Lore
should be ticked already on your sheet, though, right?
Well, the Common Lores are the ones you have to write in. They're not the so I'm not sure. The ones in the bottom, the skills at the bottom. Common Lore, you have to add them.
Is it not listed there for you?
No, not for me.
Okay, so go ahead and add those in, guys.
That's page 36 of the CRB, gentlemen.
Page 36.
Oh, I'm sorry. 36. That's okay. 36. Bottom left. And Forbidden Lore Xenos.
Nice.
Wait, what?
So you can add Common Lore, Deathwatch, and Forbidden Lore Xenos.
Yeah. There's also one more here. All Space Marine characters right next to there have received extensive training to battle the alien enemies of man. Deathwatch Space Marine characters gain the Deathwatch training talent. Same section.
Scurvy Ninja says, this game is my absolute favorite game that none of my players want to play.
No, that feeling.
Yeah. I think I call that one Ars Magica.
Oh. I'm in for that.
I called it that. That's not true. Yeah, I did get a chance. I finally got a chance to run it. It was really fucking fun. I was thinking about that. Because I've been posting about so many games recently in the player roster thing, I was like, I'm going to give it a week, and then I'm going to pitch that, hey, Sean said he wanted to play Ars Magica. Anybody else want to try it again? I got to get Fantasy Craft and Spycraft to the table next. I'm going to use for Spycraft is that Agents of Excalibur game that I posted. It's a Twitter friend, or now Blue Sky friend, named Sam Vale, who's a friend of Graham's as well.
Oh.
He wrote this thing. He ran it, and he was posting about it on Twitter before, and it just sounded like a fucking it's like a 60s spy game, but like with supernatural elements. So there's not only a Cold War going on, it's like Ipcris File meets, the Sandman kind of thing.
Nice.
And it sounded super cool, and then he and a buddy put it together as a full campaign. And I've read it now, and it's got some elements in it that are really it's a good campaign in general, but I think it'd be a really great fit for trying Spycraft out. And who doesn't want to play a 60s spy, right? Like, if you're going to play a spy.
Yep.
Select that Deathwatch training talent. I see it listed in the abilities on the abilities tab.
Wait, what? I'm so confused. Oh,
Sean just-
starting talents, traits, and implants. There's like a whole lot of things listed.
Oh yeah. Under
Heightened senses, bulging biceps, quick draw, Deathwatch training. There's like a lot of things here.
They're already in. I think you've got it. If you go to abilities,
or
already
you don't.
keyed.
So they're entered already as part of the sheet.
Okay.
You don't have to add them, it looks like.
I think for the
Okay.
what Sean's saying though is for the
Skills.
skills themselves, just for the common lore and the forbidden lore. If you want it to show up on
Yep.
your character sheet where you can roll, you do need to actually add those.
That's the ones you type in. Yeah.
Yeah.
To the plus. By the way, so my one I took for the skill points. I took 3 attributes, but also demon, forbidden lore demon, that up to plus 10.
Nice.
So
we have common lore, Deathwatch. What?
Yep. Common lore, Deathwatch, and forbidden lore, Xenos.
Xenos.
Now, those that mean you're trained?
Yeah,
You get
I
the
believe
trained.
trained. Yeah, trained as an advanced skill.
Forbidden lore, Xenos.
Forbidden lore. You
Okay. Got it. Added that.
So I took a fellowship bonus, a willpower bonus, and a weapon skill bonus.
nice. Okay.
Pump the stats.
I'll key in my Psychana abilities afterwards because there's a
Okay.
lot of typing.
Yeah, we're not actually playing tonight. So, all right. So you've got those talents as well. I think I've got a handout that actually gives you all the Space Marine talents on it as well. Do I? Let's see here. I got the Space Marine abilities. Oh, I do not. I do have.
There is a eye thing, and you
Oh.
hover over each one.
Guys, if you're curious where that plus 20 to your strength is coming from, check out the first ability for your power armor.
Nice.
Do it, sure.
Yeah, there you go. Nutrient recycling. Don't worry, guys. You can drink pee.
Yeah,
You're good.
exactly.
And if you were concerned about that. So do you want to have the talents listed individually, or would you like me to put together a little list that has a cheat sheet of what some of these do? Because some of them are going to, you're not going to need to remember, like ambidextrous, bulging biceps, I think is already factored into your sheet, which is I think you start with unnatural strength 1. Hold up. Rather than having each of you add these individually.
Like Jeff said, if you hover over the little eye next to each ability, it tells you what they are.
Oh, fucking awesome. Never mind. We don't need them then.
I just love it. As Starty's weapons training, you're proficient in all weapons.
Okay. So then, guys, I think we are done with your experience. We move next on to starting equipment. All your starting standard issue is Astartes power armor, Astartes bolt pistol, 3 frag grenades, 3 crack grenades, an Astartes combat knife, repair cement, and 1 chapter trapping.
Oh no.
Then, for your specialties as well, the Assault Marine gains an Astartes chainsword and an Astartes jump pack.
Can we drop these things onto the sheet, or are they all?
You cannot.
entered?
No, there isn't a sheet for that. I think. Let's see here.
Okay.
Combat, I think, is where the gear is. Yeah.
Yeah, figuring out how to add weapons might take a minute.
It's actually very close to what it is in Rogue Trader.
Okay, we have the power armor added at least.
So you got like 8 to the head, 10 to the body, 8 to the limbs.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
nice. Nice. Okay.
And like a whole bunch of stuff listed about what it does.
It's amazing.
It's thermite plating.
Your
recoils
black
to-
carapace as well.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay. Then it is... You know what, guys? Do you want me to give you a cheat sheet here? I'm gonna show you on Wilhelm. So this is one of the pre-gens. He has a bolt pistol and a frag grenade and crack grenade listed. And it's chainsword, actually, for that matter. If you want to copy the stats from that, I just showed you Wilhelm's character sheet, and I've got it set to the combat tab.
Cool.
I accidentally closed it. If you would be so kind.
Yeah, you got
Thank
it.
you, sir.
There you go.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
De nada. And then, let's see, what else do we get? A librarian, an Astartes bolter with fire selector, and a force weapon. For the librarian, the Devastator. Oh, an Astartes heavy bolter with backpack ammo supply.
Nice.
So that's a range weapon?
It is a ranged weapon, yeah. And that's in addition to those other things. You all get the bolt pistol, 3 frag grenades, 3 crack grenades, a combat knife, repair cement.
Nice.
Oh, does it list what page that's on?
That page is on 28.
28.
No, but the weapon itself.
Oh, the weapon itself is... It actually might be in the errata, because they did change some stuff, and I think I've got the... let me take a look here. Did I use the change numbers, or did I use the original numbers? Grenades. Granata. I used... the numbers out of the errata, it looks like.
So I have the Astartes bolter, right?
Yeah, so the Astartes bolt pistol, and you have the heavy bolter.
Oh, heavy bolter.
Yeah. The heavy bolter is... I actually don't know what... Yeah, the print version, the heavy bolter is on...
I found it in the...
in the errata?
Yeah.
Yeah, page 10 of the errata. Got a massive range on it, holy smokes.
Wait, no aim, normal, single shot. I'm just not sure. Okay, here we go. Range. Yeah, okay, got it. 150. Here we go. Fire.
Okay.
Wait, what? So I delete the S?
Yeah, you have a dash there for S, because you cannot fire a heavy bolter in single shot.
Right, and then just put a 6 at the end?
Correct. -6.
Okay.
And it's 1d10 plus 12. The type is X. Pen is 5. The clip is 60. Reload is a full round. And its special ability is tearing.
Special tearing.
Yeah, that was for a bolter.
For a heavy bolter.
This is the heavy bolter.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got to get a regular bolt.
Yeah, the bolt pistol does have tearing as well.
But I also get a bolter.
Okay, so the bolter, Astartes bolter is
Fire selector?
100. Oh, you get a fire selector as well?
Yeah.
What does a fire selector do? Other than get fire starter cut in my head. So I'm going to listen to Prodigy as soon as I get out of this session, guys. I'm not going to...
What does the type mean? Is that like
a type of damage?
Heavy?
It relates to the type of crit you get.
Oh, okay.
Do you blow somebody up? Do you zorch them with energy? Burn them with plasma? Carve them up with a chainsword? This stuff is important to know in the grim darkness of the
I
far
just don't
future.
see it on the heavy bolter.
It is next to damage. It says damage, and then it says type X.
Oh, okay. The X is the type.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Fire selector. I'm just checking here.
Got it. I mean, I don't need to record anything else. I'm just shooting everything with the heavy bolters.
I figured as much.
That sounds like an appropriate response from a Devastator.
Hell yeah.
Indeed.
Fire selector, page 157 of the core rulebook. Fire selector can have up to 3 different clips added. At the start of the shooter's turn, he can use the fire selector to choose which clip he wishes to draw ammo from. There's a lot of... this is the Gun Bunny RPG dream here.
In fact, I think you will find that Stan often forgets his pistol in his locker.
Don't get cocky.
Well, that makes sense, Kev, because it says for Tactical Marine that I also get 1 clip of special issue ammunition not exceeding 25 requisition per clip.
Yeah, so then that'll be on...
Must meet the renown requirement for the ammunition.
Right, so your renown is big fat 0 right now, but there is, I believe, some kind of ammo. Let me find it for you.
Oh,
Start his bolt.
There's launchers, power weapons, weapon upgrades, special ammo. Here we go, page 159.
Of the core?
Of the core book, yes, sorry. So if it's a heavy bolter, adds +5 to the requisition for a regular clip. For an Astartes backpack ammo supply, +15. Okay. So requisition, you could get, Dave, like of the ones that are listed there, Hellfire rounds, Kraken rounds, Metal Storm rounds, Stalker rounds. Those ones do not have a requirement for renown, and those ones are 25 or less.
Cool.
Okay. So we got the Librarian, we got the Tech Marine, Devastator.
Everything with a dash in the renown column.
Correct, because that doesn't have any renown requirement, and you are... The other ones have a renown requirement, or they have a requisition cost that is higher than higher than 25. So Stalker rounds, Metal Storm, Kraken, or Hellfire.
It's funny because the Black Templars prefer melee, and we're getting all these cool missile stuff, and I'm like,
But this is one of the neat things with when you do the requisition before a mission, you can pick other stuff too, right? Like this is where if you want to play up that you're kind of both, even though you're a Attack Marine, you could easily take, a chainsword and a, because you can use a bolt gun in one hand. You're an Astartes, so.
yeah. Chainsword bolt gun. That's how it
Hell
works,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Okay.
All right. And so, like, for instance, those ubiquitous Raven Claws.
Metal Thor.
Yeah.
Those can be snagged at the requisition as long as you meet the necessary requirements.
Nice.
The Lightning Claws. Requisition 30 or 45 and a distinguished renown.
Just one thing on the Astartes on Wilhelm.
Yep.
His weapon's set wrong for his bolt pistol. The ones which say tearing, you should go on the special quality tearing, I think.
Where is that?
So in the block, just above the text box, there's a no special.
Yeah, that's new that's one of the updates they made to the sheet then. These characters are like 2 years old.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you got
stumbled across that.
Yeah, that's nice. Sure, I can just set that for him in the event we use him again. Is there the last one? Very cool. These are really good sheets.
Yeah.
Kev, do we also have a chainsword or a combat knife?
You have, every one of you has a combat knife.
Okay.
You do not, but you have a backpack ammo supply for your heavy bolter.
Oh, okay. That's under
heavy bolter's kind of funny.
Equipment.
I think so. It's listed.
Force weapon.
Let's see here. Backpack ammo supply. Here we go. 100 rounds of ammo for plasma, melta, las weapons. 250 rounds of ammo for SP or bolt weapons. So you have a backpack with 250 rounds of ammo in it for your heavy bolter.
Okay.
It is pretty badass. And the force weapon has some modifier to its damage as well. I think it's
okay.
Yeah, like it adds. I think you add your psi to the damage with it.
Okay, I'll check that one out.
Yeah, Starty's force weapon 1d10 plus. Oh, I should check the errata.
Yes. Yeah, I'll take the force sword.
Ooh, yeah. Every point of psi rating that the wielder has increases the weapon's damage and penetration by 1. So you have a psi rating 3 to start. That's in addition to your strength bonus. And in addition to normal damage, whenever a Psyker damages an opponent, he may, as a free action, channel Psychic Force and Killing Will into the blade. Requires a Force power test using opposed willpower. Every degree of success, you do 1d10 extra damage, ignoring the victim's armor and toughness.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I'll just toss away the guns then.
The focus power test to channel psychic force through a weapon can be made in any of the 3 psychic power levels, so you can jack your psi level up as well if you want to be unrestrained. But you has the same chance to generate psychic phenomenon or perils of the warp.
So I should just put my willpower in on the weapon, right? And just do it, and just remember to do it when I.
Not your willpower, your psychic power.
Psychic power, yes. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I just add that.
Yeah, if you put it at 3, just remember, like, if you're in the restrained mode or whatever it is, I think it's half your psi, and if you are open or whatever it's called, it's double your psi, I think.
Okay.
Right.
So if I'm
in this game, there's 3 different modes that you can manifest in, right? There's the controlled, which is like either a no or a very limited chance of perils of the warp. There's restricted. You know what? I'm just going to look them up because I'm just making up words now. Let's see here. It is called. Here we go. Fettered, unfettered, and pushed. Pushed, you add +3 to your psi rating. Unfettered, you use your full psi rating. And fettered, you use half of your psi rating, rounding up.
Rounding up? Okay,
when determining.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's 2. That was going to be my question, the rounding. That was...
yeah.
That was 2. Rending, balance special.
The special is what the psi rating thing. Balanced, I think it's -10 to parry, maybe. Oh, +10 to parry.
+10.
Easier to wield.
That's
pretty cool.
Parry.
Nice.
Oh, parry mod. Duh.
Oh, that's cool.
Let's not write that down.
I do
Let's just
appreciate
put it
that
in the box.
Sean has followed my campaign guidelines too and ensured somebody has a weapon that I can make a chainsaw sound to. So I appreciate that very much, Sean.
That's big.
It's a lot of fun to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Then, we don't have that in Warhammer Fantasy. I'm going to have to shoehorn a engineer, probably a dwarven engine, or is that too soon, Sean?
Yeah, come on.
Okay. Yeah, you get repair cement. Does everyone have their gear in, guys?
No, working on it though.
Okay. The reason being is once we got all this shit entered, it's going to take a lot of the heavy lifting off of what is probably going to be a bit of a confusing game. We're also adding new gear when you guys do the requisition turn for your what do you call it? For your
like deployment? Or
yeah. This game is a lot more regimented in certain things. Like you have clear objectives, and then you have like a variety of objectives you can choose to pursue or abandon, and you have clear benefits you get from achieving or ignoring those things.
Go post and repair cement.
All right. Oh, you know what? What I was doing before, dagnabbit, was... Yeah, it's still here. Okay. Because I think... Let's see. Oh, right. It'll be down here. Let's see, guys. Did I do this? Let's see. Oh, look at this. Here we go. Boom. I have a chapter headshot for Dark Templars, or Black Templars. I have a headshot for... Well, we have no Ultramarine, do we?
Mm-mm.
No. Uh-oh.
Or I avoided them because, not wanting to step on James, but then James didn't take one.
And then we have a Raven Guard and a... Oh, I don't have the Raven Guard. I think Raven Guard always use those Mark 6 helmets, too, like the original. That's where they get the little cone head thing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if they all use that, if that's canonical, but I've seen that in a lot of the Raven Guard things. I'll find headshots for each of these armors for you guys. I only have one that I definitely don't have an Exorcist one. What color Exorcist armors?
Red, dark red.
Dark red, okay, yeah, I definitely don't. I have a Screaming White Scar. Okay. Then, how are we doing for gear?
I think I've got all my weapons in. I've put repair cement in there.
Nice.
Looking good.
Okay.
I'm entertained by the Force Sword.
It's a pretty cool pretty cool weapon. I really like the librarians in this quite a bit. But then again, I'm a sucker for librarians in any games. So
a heavy bolt of those, a nice one as well.
Heck
is
yeah.
Good.
Godwin, nice. Left arm with 2 degrees of success. Does it not roll? Oh, you have to roll damage separately, I guess, hey?
Yeah, I think you do.
Okay.
So at this first button is the roll? Oh, yeah, okay.
That's pretty cool.
What? Oh, that did roll damage. Wait, how? Oh, fire is the one you rolled.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit fire and then damage is above it, which is...
I think you might have to set the fire mode beforehand too, right? Just like in Rogue Trader.
Yeah.
No aim, normal, single shot, yeah.
Yeah. Great.
And then what's the 0 or whatever before fire?
I don't know what that is. I wondered about that myself.
Is there maybe like situational modifiers?
Oh. Yeah, it says
Maybe.
other test
Well,
modifiers if you hover
it doesn't
over.
seem to be a mechanical it doesn't seem to be a mechanical field. It looks like just a freeform field.
Yeah, it says if you hovered over, it says other test modifiers.
Other test modifiers. So it's just for you. It's just for.
Yeah, so it'd be like, there's visibility issues. The block of modifiers, guys, I have terrific news. If you miss the block of modifiers from any of our other Warhammer games, don't you worry.
Yeah.
Boy, do we have a block of modifiers in this one.
There we go.
How did you get a chainsword?
Part of my assault background.
Sweet. Well, I will try to get one at some point.
Why don't you go on ahead there, Raven Guard? All right. Do we have all of our weapons and gear and stuff? Look at that big hit with the.
I think so.
The chapter trappings. Is there anything we should know about that?
I do not know what that, unless the chapter specifically refers to what your trappings are. I actually don't know.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. Let's see here.
I'll just put exactly that chapter trapping under my gears. So
well, who are you?
Later.
You're Raven Guard?
I am Raven Guard.
Yeah. You sound a bit. How did you not know that?
Well, I'm practicing because that is my demeanor. So,
what's your demeanor?
Taciturn, basically a little bit surly.
Okay. Are you feel you're going to be comfortable role playing that though, or?
I don't know. The whole chapter is that way. That's the entire chapter, for God's sake.
I'm not surly. I'm suspicious of any psychers and such.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Raven Guard also have a corrupted gene seed, for that matter.
And they're fairly quiet, apparently. Like they're not all over the place. But
I might be wrong about this. They may have a raspy voice as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I could be making that up, but I for some reason I think that's the case.
Okay, my knife's in.
Okay, look at these. Yeah, I love it. Sean's got it as his background, but look at the Econ Raven Guard.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet right there. That picture. Those what are those? Let's see. What is that called? Those claws.
Lightning claws.
Lightning claws.
Yep. Okay. Developed in there again. We have a picture of them lightning claws in action.
Nice. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they are pretty cool. All right, so then I believe it looks like we got everything in, guys. So we are turning now to giving the characters life. Let's go one at a time, and we'll roll for the past actions for these heroes. Excuse me, these Astartes. So it's going to be in, depending on your chapter, it'll be in a different book. So for the Salamanders, that is in First Founding. Jeffrey, this is what you were looking at before. You rolled the past.
Yeah, it's the thing that I accidentally rolled.
Yeah, give
early.
us a. Do you remember what you rolled for a D5?
Yeah, I already took the text. I rolled the Burning Walk.
Ooh,
5.
So why don't you tell us what that does?
So you allowed doubt to creep into your mind and impair your ability to serve the Imperium, and as a result chose to walk with only a staff and nomad's robe into the ash dunes of Nocturne until those doubts were resolved. You are one of the few to ever have returned from the Burning Walk against all expectations, and your purpose reaffirmed in the crucible of so deadly an undertaking. What doubt you may have once been plagued by, you do not speak of, but when you are returned from the Burning Walk, you immediately petitioned to join the Deathwatch.
Wow. Okay. Dave, give us a D5 roll, please. We're on page 29 of the core rulebook.
Roll 3 dice at you.
3. The Geonid Crusade. Alongside your fellow Black Templars, you recovered invaluable artifacts from the Adeptus Mechanicus laboratories under siege by rebellious forces on the planet Geonid. You personally slew a handful of rogue psychers and resisted their unnatural powers.
Ooh.
Our Raven Guard. Give us a D5, please. It's on page 17, the First Founding. 4. The fall of Voldorius. You participated in the siege on Mankara in the final hours of the hunt for the demon prince Voldorius. You fought and bled side by side with White Scar battle brothers to win the day. While many of your fellow Raven Guards still cling to the rivalry with the White Scars chapter, you consider them worthy allies.
See, there's that mitigating of the surliness right there.
Yeah, exactly. Thank God someone's playing a White Scar. Oh, wait a minute. James, I'm on page 100 of Honor the Chapter. You want to give us a D10 roll?
A D10. Oh.
Yeah, you got more options.
D10. Honor the Chapter.
9.
Honor the Chapter.
Honor Guard. The greatest moment of your long service was when you were selected to bear the chapter's sacred standard into battle at the side of the chapter master himself. In doing so, you earned a purity seal, its text inscribed by your commander, and you wear it with pride, even though you now bear the black and silver of the Deathwatch.
Oh. Cool. Let me get that.
Okay.
Journal.
Next, the power armor history. So, Jeffrey, let's see what quirks we have about your power armor. It's neat that they do it about the ship instead in Rogue Traders, so it's cool that you guys each have some neat, unique thing. Give us a D10 roll, please, Jeffrey. I'm on page 162 of the core book here.
1d10.
7.
Is there a spot for this?
I think it's under journal. It's power armor history.
It was under past event.
Oh, maybe there you go.
Oh, you know what? Actually, for armor, I think it's under
combat. There's like an armor spot. Yeah.
For armor. Okay. Yeah.
So for 7, terror be thy friend. Though all suits of power armor are intimidating to say the least, this suit seems to project an air of menace and violence. Its power core periodically emits grumbles that are often confused with the growling of a wild beast. In combat, this turns into a ferocious howl and is truly a paralyzing thing to face. Numerous attempts have been made to quiet this phenomenon, but tech priests have thus far been unable to appease the temperamental machine. Many bearers enhance this effect by adding terrifying reliquary inlays and scriptures of damnation, causing their impact on the weak souls of the enemies to increase considerably. The wearer gains the Fear 1 trait against any foe engaged in melee with them. So you have the Fear 1 trait for any melee foes because your armor growls.
Nice.
Dave, give us a D10 roll. I think we'll skip duplicates just to keep it interesting.
D10.
2. None shall escape the Emperor's wrath. Incorporating a rare and prized persecutor target acquisition spirit, this armor constantly scans for targets, predicting ranges, windage, and elevation, as well as passively noting biosigns for later targeting. It makes nearly imperceptible alignments to the aim and firing rate of the wearer, sometimes even anticipating the bearer's movement. Many warriors are put off by such contrary behavior, but all eventually learn to become one with the intentions of their second skin. The obvious advantage gives the wearer a +5 bonus to their ballistic skill. However, the armor is sluggish to respond to unplanned events, as it seems to unlike the jostling of its precise calculations. The wearer suffers -10 penalty to dodge in melee. So, you're a attack marine, though, so I mean, the bonus to your ballistic skill is not bad. Sean, you want to give us a D10 roll?
D10.
If you get a 2 or a 7, go ahead and re-roll. 6. Thy strength be legend. The raw physical strength of the Adeptes Astartes is already the stuff of legend, which all power armor further enhances. This suit, however, makes the bearer's strength truly titanic. Such armor has created tales of burning vehicles leveraged from atop trapped comrades and crumbling buildings supported by the battle brother alone. The bearer receives an additional plus 10 to strength in addition to the normal bonus granted by the power armor. The strength bonus from this power armor is added in after the modifications for unnatural strength.
Cool.
Nice. So that means plus 1 melee damage too.
Oh, nice.
Right? Because you had your strength bonus with a chainsword.
Yeah.
And then
that would just go under a starting field again, right? Probably. You think?
Power armor history?
Plus
you mean
10
the bonus itself? That I don't know, actually, because
I don't. Yeah, because that would multiply up on your.
Yeah, it would multiply up, and it's a little separate. We'll take a. They must have contemplated it somehow because the sheet is so comprehensive, and there's only 10 options for the history. So, James, give us a D10 roll and re-roll if you get a 2, 6, or 7, please. There you go. 3. Thine arm be the scourge of the impure. The spirit of this armor has been honed by its long years of service into a truly potent adversary. It has been upgraded with numerous enhancements for the sole purpose of bringing ruination to the enemies of man in glorious close combat. Wearers claim that it knows how and when they're going to strike and come to trust it as innately as any other brother in arms. Such a suit grants the wearer plus 5 weapon skill. However, its long-range targeting systems are difficult and temperamental. When wearing the suit's helmet, ballistic skill tests suffer a minus 5 penalty.
Cool.
That'll be easier to deploy that force sword.
Yep, that's good.
Then we got nature, guys. Page 31. And maybe before going through that, we should either select or roll for your demeanor. Because it sounds like that's going to inform some of the answers to your questions. Like, what's your personality like? Jeffrey, do you want to roll for your demeanor or pick it? We're on page 32.
Yeah, 1 sec. I'm just going to open this PDF in a different program because it is so slow. I can't even follow you.
Okay.
Just give me 2.
Keeps trying to do AI searches every time I touch the screen.
Oh my goodness, it's just terrible. Hold on. Let me reopen this stupid thing. Okay. Open with. Oh. Is this better?
It's page 32 is you're looking for. I'm not sure if it's
Yes.
print
So let's see
version
if I
32.
jump to 32, if it'll. Oh, yeah. Instantly. Okay.
Okay. Page 32. So do you want to roll or you want to pick?
Obviously I'm going to roll.
A D10, please.
D10.
10. Proud. Dignity and honor are important to this Space Marine. So under your personal demeanor, go ahead and put proud.
Okay.
Dave, would you like to roll or select? I'm seeing typing 9. Ambitious. This Space Marine's gaze is ever lifted towards his goal. Sean, you picked yours as Taciturn, okay? And
Brooding.
James, do you want to roll or select?
Yeah, which page is it?
Page 32 of the core book.
Page 32. 1 second.
And a reminder, you could trigger your chapter demeanor or your personal demeanor to get the same effect as if you were spending a fate point once per session.
Yeah, let's roll on that then.
Okay, D10, please. Two. Gregarious. The Space Marine is a charismatic and talkative one. One who puts his battle brothers and even normal humans at ease.
Does that fit?
I think there's probably an interesting answer to why he is like that.
Yeah, could be. Yeah,
right?
Okay.
Like, if everyone else in the chapter is like that, who's to say that he's not a complete fucking sociopath who is putting on this friendly personality all the time? Because the exorcists are generally known to be quite placid and reserved until they get into combat, where they turn into absolute lunatics that would make a space marine blush, or a space wolf blush. Okay, then Jeffrey, what was your Marine's homeworld like? Born to a feral tribe or a hive gang? Were you part of a knightly order or part of the aristocracy? What do you think you were before you were drawn into the salamanders? High-tech world, low-tech worlds. Highly built up, low built up, religious, not religious.
Probably high-tech world. Is the religion in this game is like the religion of worshiping the emperor?
Yes.
Basically. Yeah. Probably highly religious if he's going to end up in this path that he's in, right? Because this is like following the...
the salamanders. Yeah, salamanders.
Yeah, you're not.
Salamanders don't necessarily overly religious. The Black Templars absolutely are. The Exorcists absolutely are. But the salamanders aren't necessarily. They're not one of the chapters that really believes in the Imperial Creed as much as some others.
Yeah, because I think the rest, only Dave believes that the Emperor is a god. The rest of us think he's a righteous dude. Is
that true for the Exorcist, though? Because you have such a close connection with the ecclesiarchy.
No. You've got the connections with the Order Malleus.
Oh, okay.
And they're thought to maybe be descended from the Ultramarines, so they're codex. So they would be not. That's why I won't get on with Dave.
Well, you won't get on with them because you're also a dirty, filthy psycho.
We won't talk about that.
Heretic. So does that answer your question, Jeff? But that's not to say that your character isn't necessarily religious.
Right.
Just because
no, then maybe not. Maybe he's not very religious. Maybe it's just sort of a prove himself and his,
So the kinds of high-tech worlds would be things like it could be where one of the chapters was located, or one of the Imperial Guard is located, like a garrison world, or it could be a hive world or a forge world where they build a bunch of shit and it's the Mechanicum that populate that.
That's kind of interesting. Like a forge world, like a factory world.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. So you're originally from a forge world. How about your guy, Dave? What was his home world like?
Don't the Black Templars float around in a fleet or something? They don't have a homeworld, if I remember correctly?
I mean, that's the chapter, but where you came from can be a variety of different... There are sort of like... Certain ones will most often draw their recruits from certain places, but like the world's also full of exceptions, and one of the core tenets of 40K is that everything is true or everything is written and part of the setting, but nothing is necessarily true. Yeah. So everything's there, but like, who knows what the actual truth is? So they may say we only draw from this one monastic order, when actually they just like, will collect up a bunch of young people and see who survives the procedures to become a space marine, and then indoctrinate them to think that they came from the monastery the whole time. So whatever you want.
I think my character is he believes he's rescued from a really poor world that was like battle torn, and people basically surviving in a I'm thinking like like post World War One parts of France that you can't go to because of all the chemicals and stuff like that. So,
a war orphan, you could be.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he's picked up and saved.
Okay. So you were a foundling brought into there without any real knowledge of whatever your world was like before. Did I have that right? Okay. Sean, what about your guy? What's your home world like?
He is from, I think, the classic Raven Guard world of Deliverance.
Okay. So one, I'll just point out, Sean, if your chapter demeanor and your personal demeanor are the same, and you're also from there, like one of the opportunities for the demeanor, personal demeanor, and for the backstory is to step out of the playing the typical archetypical one. There's nothing wrong with leaning into that, but I will just point out that you, even mechanically, having a different demeanor, personal demeanor from your chapter demeanor will give you a chance to both have your cake and eat it too, to be what everyone thinks they are as well as your own. I'm not sure if you want to do that necessarily, but just because, again, there's nothing wrong with playing the sort of classic archetype of them as well. But if everything's going to go down the line to being that archetypical thing, it won't give you an opportunity to put your own stamp on this Space Marine necessarily. So, but again, nothing. If you dig the Raven world or the Raven Guard's home world, then that's fine too.
Well, maybe I'll go pious. Maybe I will have that in common with Dave's character.
Okay. So you came from like a throne world? Is that what they call them? No, it's not that. What do they call it?
Sounds vaguely familiar.
Shrine world? Is that maybe?
Shrine. There it is.
Okay. And then you were drawn in because the Space Marines, some of them have physiological changes that come from their gene seed, but you gain those mutations over the course of the process to become a Space Marine. No one is born one. You are created as one using the science and surgery of the Empire. What about your guy, James? What's your home world like?
I think I was looking at what's out there. I'm thinking of a frontier world. They come from they apparently come from a bunch of worlds curated by the Order Malleus, but they're sort of independent-y. But this can be that he's on the frontier, but he's quite gregarious because he spends so much time alone.
Sure. Okay. Great. All right, then. Jeffrey, what is your character's personality like? Fiery or passionate, earthly and practical. It's sometimes informed by your demeanor, but what's your instinctive threat response to threats, surprises, or pressure to perform? What do you think your personality is like?
So I think that he is he feels like he's destined to do good things in the universe and help, really make a difference. And so his personality is optimistic in general. He's not a pessimist, he's an optimist. And I think his instinctive response to, threats or whatever is, take them out. Like, that's why we're the Marines.
Okay.
So I think he's sort of action-oriented that way.
Okay.
But, stubborn in his choices.
What about your guy, Dave? Well, I see Heston has a name now.
Yeah.
Okay. What about your guy, Dave? What's your personality like?
Yeah, I think he's like calm for the most part, but then we'll jump in and take charge when there's action, try to lead by example, and tries to do the right thing, even at the cost of others liking it. So, like,
okay,
kind of the opposite of your people pleaser. Like, he's going to do the right thing, set the boundaries, and if people don't like it, too bad.
Yeah, that does sound very Black Templar. What about Validus?
Give me the question again.
What is your personality like? How do you respond to threats, surprises, pressure to perform? What is your disposition like?
Let's see. I think Validas. I'm going with Validas.
That is good, because Validus is a member of the Fatal Five. And I just finished reading 2 series of Legion of Superheroes, so Validus is a fucking awesome villain. But yeah, Validas. What is Validus' personality like?
Let's see. I think Validas is he's watchful. He is not particularly gregarious, and like his chapter, but he is in subjects that interest him. So when the Emperor comes up, or his Primarch, or he is supportive. He is supportive selectively, I think.
Okay, nice. What about is it Nazaratus?
Nazaratus, yeah.
What is his personality like?
So I've put down the calm, self-sufficient, and thoughtful from his time on the frontier, but he likes finding out about others and raising their spirits.
Nice.
When he meets up with us, but also he has a ferocious temper when triggered, and that's due to his past.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that sort of fits in with his psychic powers, because one is the Inspire and the other one is that Avenger thing. Mm-hmm. And those are related.
That's awesome.
Puts him down that side of his psyche.
Yeah. It also kind of fits like with the whole gregarious thing too. Like that may also relate to if he's a psychic, not wanting to see anybody else get to that agitated level, right? Like it may be more of a self-preservation thing than like constantly diffusing situations when wrath and whatnot is not needed.
Yep. Yeah. No, absolutely.
That's interesting.
So that's two. So those will be the 2 talents. I might change the reading one. I'll figure that one out. But those fit with his character.
Yeah, love it. Jeffrey, we think we know about this, but why? We know why you applied to be in the Deathwatch. Why were you selected for it?
I'm kind of thinking that like they're connected, right? Like it says in sort of that, burning walk or whatever it was called, that almost no one survives this, and he is extremely strong and tough, and I think that just sort of like the reasons he survived it are the reasons he was selected. He's just sort of this physical specimen of a human, right?
You were actually more than human, because remember, you are an Astartes.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. What about you? Gerfart. Why were you selected for the Deathwatch?
Selected for the Deathwatch because he would not bend the rules when put in a situation where there was psychers involved, and it was, at the cost of others, but at the same time, he was implacable in his beliefs. And
what beliefs were those? Was it to exterminate the psychers, or was it to not just unquestionably exterminate them?
It was in resisting their charm to like get them to do
that. Oh, so it was in resisting the psychers' ability? Is that?
In not resisting the psychers' abilities, but in resisting the temptation to let them do as they were. So
the temptation. I'm not quite following. What do you mean?
So he was being like a good, righteous Black Templar.
Yeah.
And there were psychers that were tempting the others into, bending the rules and letting them do as they would. And he put his foot down and said, "No, we can't do that. That's against what we stand for."
Oh, so you were the one who exterminated the psychers when the other Black Templars did not?
Yes.
Dark.
So my third talent will be Smite.
Yeah. Seeing extreme. The reason I'm trying to process it, Dave, because remember, like the Black Templars generally hate that. So it would be a whole bunch of your brothers who would be falling to, if they've not been like mentally controlled by the psychers, then they'd be going really against the tenets of their chapter.
Right.
Like what I was thinking, if I was what I understood it to what you said before was that you were the one who actually was like, look, these fuckers are not doing anything. We don't need to do this. That might be why you were selected for Deathwatch, because it's actually not seen as a very prestigious thing for Black Templars to have to serve alongside librarians or whatever else. Honorable Black Templars, they want to serve with Black Templars because they're the only ones who do the Imperial. So if your character showed a modicum, and maybe he didn't even actually spare them, but you hesitated, that might have been a bit of like, your weakness.
A willingness to see reason where psychers were concerned.
That's, if you're okay with that, then that would be why you would be, we're nominating this fucking idiot for this because he doesn't follow our tenets of putting a force sword through every psych. Well, I guess it wouldn't be a force sword, it'd be a chain sword through every psyker. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. What about you, Velitis? Why were you selected for the Deathwatch?
I think it was his. I suspect it might have been for his piety. It's a little unusual, and so it makes him. I think it makes him. It offers bonding possibilities for those not of his chapter. Okay. I think, and so. So it gives him a little extra verb to go out there and slay Xenos.
Yeah, that's an interesting perspective if it was from beforehand too, because like the attrition rate and the death rate for undergoing the, becoming a Star Chase can be fatal to a lot of people. If your character went through all of that pain and transformation and whatnot, and then subsequent training and punishment, that might really deepen his faith as well, too. So whatever was there before, and he may have seen as the Emperor holding him through it, which would be very different for Raven Guard, for sure.
Yeah, I think he's less surly than the average Raven Guard, so it makes him more exportable.
Yeah.
Down to the.
Interesting. So it makes both of you guys kind of, for one thing that you have in common is the Imperial Creed. The other is the bit of that you're kind of unusual members of your respective chapters, and both sort of like able to find a compromise. What about you, Nazaratus?
He's not surly, but he's less surly.
No, we understand. Yeah. It's like what they say. Like, what do you call the nice part of hell? Hell. Yeah. So, Nazaratus, what about you? Why were you selected for the Deathwatch?
Because he talked too much. And the rest couldn't stand him. I guess because they thought that he would be a good fit with working with other chapters.
What does the Purity Seal do as well? Do you know? Because you were the one who got the Purity Seal, right?
Yeah, that would normally protect you help you resist demons.
Fuck me. So you're going to be super resistant to it, which makes a lot of sense for where you guys are going to be headed. The Akaros salient is going to be chock full of chaos and demons and cults and all sorts of terrible shit. So if this team was put together for that, it was interesting that a lot of your events, like the past stuff, all related to chaos as well. It all makes sense that would be why some of you have been selected for this particular mission.
So I'll say I was put forward by.
It was your chapter master you saved, right?
Oh, well, I was next to him in the middle of the fight. Yeah,
right.
So, but I would say I was put forward by the Ordo Malleus for this mission.
Love it. Okay, Jeffrey. The Deathwatch is an elite force gathered from Space Marine chapters across the galaxy. Its purpose is to hunt the alien forces that threaten the Imperium of Man operate in small kill teams in special missions that are often taken from behind enemy lines and venture into dark, secret places at the bequest of the Inquisition. That is a correct word. I think I see behest more often than bequest.
Yeah, behest should be.
Were it not for the Deathwatch, the Imperium would have long ago crumbled into oblivion at the hands of the heretics, chaos renegades, and foul Xenos. I mention all of that to ask, what does the Deathwatch mean to Hestan?
Well, I mean, I think that we're taking on the most dangerous threats in the universe. And so, if you feel destined to make positive change in the universe, you're going to go after the worst stuff. And so I think he really believes in the mission of the Deathwatch. And in fact, he has no qualms about the fact that we're selecting from any given chapter, because he thinks bringing in all the best skills of the different Space Marines is the way to succeed in that mission.
Yeah.
So I think that he actually kind of believes in this,
Love it. What about Gervalt? What does Deathwatch mean to him?
I think in piecing all this together and rereading some of the previous examples, it makes sense to me now. So to him, the Deathwatch means a place to actually fit in, or a place to fit in where he can do actual good, unlike the twisted, zealous good that's being done by the Black Templars.
That's interesting. So he may be a lifer in the Deathwatch. Some join Deathwatch for a period and then are discharged for a mission. Some never leave.
I think if he finds a better fit here, then it's why would he want to go back to a place where they look down on him for being rational instead of.
That's interesting. Is Gervalt quite religious still, or is he less religious?
I think he's quite religious still, but he sees flaws in.
Yeah,
what the rest of the Black Templars.
So that's incredible. So it's probably the kind of thing he couldn't say to them lest he be called a heretic. Because those small deviations from,
they would see him as a cultist.
Yeah,
some kind of like splinter cultist of like the Templars, and he's like, oh no, they'd have to exterminate me.
Yeah,
and they would, because they are unflinching and
yeah. What about Validas? What does Deathwatch mean to him?
I think he would like to. I think he shares his chapter's sharp appreciation for stealth and infiltration rather than just battering ahead, and so he looks to export to. Spread the good word about not just leading with your face. And
so what does it mean, an opportunity then to
opportunity? Yeah,
so
to spread
the
tactics.
Okay.
There's also, there might be something interesting in his. He might have been driven a bit by the curse of the Raven Guard, because their gene seed is particularly, they're under strength and. They're particularly unstable, and so I'm thinking that perhaps why would he go there? I think he might have gone there because he's particularly unstable, and they want to. They're trying to cleanse.
So just a reminder. My question was, what does the Deathwatch mean to him?
Yeah. Yeah, so he would have done it. I mean, if I go this direction, I mean, he would have felt like he needed to get himself out of the gene seed of his chapter, maybe, or.
But what is the Deathwatch? So does the Deathwatch mean to him that it's an opportunity to escape?
Yeah, an escape that he thinks is better for his chapter. That if he leaves the ranks, if they try to cleanse the gene seed. I'm just experimenting with this, if this makes any sense or not. But that he's because that's their curse, so it's kind of cool. It's kind of, I'm trying to think if there could be a connection of him reacting to his own unstable gene seed.
So let's see so unstable doesn't necessarily always mean that you're going to go loopy, but what is the here?
Page 15 of First Founding.
Okay, Curse of the Raven. Here we go. Over time,
It could be just his appearance is so disturbing.
Yeah, because it becomes ivory white. The eyes become black orbs, and the color is the hair of Raven's feathers. Yeah, like there's a lot of them that are unstable in the sense that you become mutated. Like what typically it means for when you've got an unstable gene seed doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to go loopy. It means that like it's going to cause mutations, physical mutations. Like the salamanders are often almost like chalk, gray skinned. The blood angels, what do they get? They don't get sharpened teeth. It's something else that they get. There's the blood mist.
No. Baby blood, yeah.
Yeah. The space wolves have fucking giant canines that grow, right? And I believe it's the older you get, the more chalk white and the more whatever you have. That said, for any individual Space Marine, there's also a change. So, is your concern that you want to try and stabilize the gene seed, or that you want to? Because you're not an apothecary. Right, so it could, and the other thing is, you don't need to have a perfect understanding how this shit works. If you're not an apothecary, you may not have had it explained to you, and maybe you think like, oh, by service to the Space Marines, we can find some way so that we can perpetuate. One thing they say in that Curse of Raven is that the older you get, the harder it is to harvest the gene seed. So the longer you live, the more that it forces the chapter to rely on old stocks of gene seed as opposed to collecting from deceased, more mature Space Marines. If that's what you wanted to keep in. Another thing might be is, what if your religiosity is beginning to manifest in visions or something like that? And perhaps you might be thinking like, oh, maybe this is religious, but also maybe it's my gene seed that's destabilizing. That could be a fun role-playing thing for you to want to explore, of whether this mental instability, whether it is something related to an actual religious phenomenon, or whether it is just you fucking going nuts.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, at some point, maybe confiding in Gerhardt about, say, do you have visions too?
Does the Emperor speak to you as well in things? You can feel free to reject any of the shit here too. I'm just trying to figure a way of sort of articulating what you were thinking of there in the context of what Deathwatch means to you.
Yeah, I think he wants to. It's not just one thing. He wants to. He's excited to take his chapter's proper tactics to the Deathwatch. I mean, especially since they're small team, it should be a no-brainer. For large forces, I understand it's a tough sell because they have, if you've got 1,000 Space Marines at your behest, there's going to be a temptation just to, crack the shit out of somebody. But, that's not the proper tact. That's not how it should be done. But I mean, I understand the temptation. But on a small team, it's a no-brainer. Like, you got to sneak up on someone and probably, shred them before they even know you're there, rather than just, blaze away.
So, and finally, what does Deathwatch mean to Nazaratus?
I think it's a chance to bring the chapters and his own knowledge to the Jericho Reach, not where they are not currently. And also to learn about other Astartes.
Yeah, and there is. So one of the interesting things about the Jericho Reach, as far as what would be of interest to the Exorcists, there is a warp phenomenon called the Haydex anomaly. Haydex, is that right? Yeah, the Haydex anomaly, which basically a giant fucking mini. I mean, I say mini because it's not like taking up a whole quarter of the galaxy, but it's this enormous thing that basically developed around where the capital of the Jericho Reach was before.
Oh yeah.
There is also a watch station that is somewhere in the realm of the anomaly that no one knows what's there. There were brothers that were said to have been still in there and holding their own, but who knows what happened to them 40 years ago.
I'll come here. We've definitely got to go and liberate those boys.
Okay, there you go. So, back to Jeffrey. What does Hestan desire? Glory, honor, truly worthy foes, or do you want to increase your faith in the God Emperor? What do you desire?
Well, like probably, to cleanse it. Well, I mean, he knows the universe is too vast to actually cleanse it, but to cleanse as much as is possible for one man of evil out of the universe.
Okay. So you desire an opportunity to cleanse, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. With a heavy bolter, I think there will be much cleansing available.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cleanse as fast as I can.
Okay. What about Gervart? What do you desire?
And throw it these a true connection with the God Emperor.
Okay. So he seeks a true connection?
Yes.
Nice. Velitis, what do you desire?
I think he wants to make a name for himself. He likes the idea of where he comes from. People with his skills are numerous. I mean, his own chapter, this is what they specialize in. So he sort of he looks forward to a unit relying on his particular skills.
Nice.
Go up there and get it done. Kill the lookout, and we'll come in behind you. That kind of just that weight.
Yep.
He wants the weight of responsibility of a unit for his skills.
Okay. And what about Nazaritis?
So there's two possibilities. Nazaritis. Two possibilities then. Either he wants to keep suppressing the demon, or in him, or if you want, we could put it in that he wants to liberate the. Because is this a short-term goal, or can we make
it doesn't really matter. Like,
goal?
it's not. There isn't the same kind of like short-term, long-term goal there is in like Imperium Maledictum or whatnot. It's more just a matter of like framing your role-playing of the character. But if you want it to be that, we can link that to the anomaly. Like, what if you have had dreams of some of the things in there, or perhaps you've dreamt about the places in the former capital. In the Akaros salient, whether that's prophetic dreams or whether that's your demon whispering things to bring you home. Oh, by the way, Gervart, Nazaritis had a demon in him. The exorcists open themselves up for demonic possession and become members of the chapter by casting the demon out.
We don't talk about this.
I'm aware you don't talk about this.
That is the important part. I think we can understand that and you know what? We all have demons inside us.
I know. I love the
Not
idea.
literally.
Like, Gervart thinks he's talking about metaphorically, and Nazaritis is just.
Yep.
We are well known for our metaphorical speech among the exorcists. No, your characters would not know this stuff, but just for context, to understand, it's one of the fun things about the exorcist. Okay, so that's very cool. Then. Hestan, what do you hate? Please don't say Mondays.
No. Well, what would be considered sort of the I don't know, the kind of stuff we're going after in this world?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are they? Chaos is like the bad magic?
Chaos.
Xenos,
Chaos, and yeah.
I guess any Xenos that embrace the chaos, I mean, isn't that the worst possible?
There definitely is Xenos that are chaos or have like strong connections to the warp, but what there isn't is like orcs who also are chaos, or Tau who are also chaos, or whatever. Like they seem to be the chaos forces you often face in the 40K setting are things that are of humankind. They're of your own creation, It's humans who were desperate and turned to chaos, or greedy and turned to chaos, or, lustful and turned to chaos.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah.
It's a manifestation of, generally, there are definitely like separate chaos things, and there are chaos demons in the warp, but there isn't in the setting like any of the major Xenos species that also are chaos. Even the Eldar, there's the Eldar and there are the Dark Eldar. Neither of those are associated with chaos, because all chaos wants to do is consume their fucking tasty souls.
Right.
Slaanesh was born out of the destruction of their entire civilization. And Slaanesh is always ready to go back to the Eldar buffet for seconds. So that said, there are also, like, if you want to link it to Xenos, there's all sorts of forgotten and dead Xenos races that have been wiped out because of their fall to chaos. They're just not major Xenos species within the setting.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. So, yeah. Probably just Xenos in general, then.
Okay.
He doesn't discriminate. They all need to go.
Okay. What about Gerhard? What do you hate?
Yeah.
Chaos. Yep. That tracks. Validas, what do you hate?
Can I throw heretics in there?
Heretics and chaos? Absolutely. I think
Validas.
I say Black Templars are typically happy to throw pretty much anything into the fire. So,
Validas hates traitors. So his chapter was decimated, famously, in the Battle of Battles.
Yeah.
Istvan?
Was it Istvan 7, wasn't it?
Istvan 5.
Istvan 5.
Along with the salamanders.
Yeah.
Yes, along the salamander. Yeah, we may have a little salamander. So traitors, and certainly Raven Guard traitors. I mean, I don't think that was as much a thing in the battle. We just got massacred more than we got. I think.
One of the interesting things is that there are Chaos Marines, right, who they think of as sort of the traitor Marines, but there are also, like, Johnny-come-lately successor chapters or things like that did end up either turning to or go renegade for a time. Like, I think it's the Astral Claws that actually went renegade for a while. The whole Babab War, I believe, was the fucking Astral Claws who started that whole shit. They've done, I think, like a century of penitence in order to recover for that. I think it was a atonement crusade. So they basically kept in perpetual war for 100 years or something like that in order to make up for their fuck up. They didn't turn to chaos necessarily, but they did turn against the Emperor. And really, is there a difference there? Which is a long way of saying, and I think the Astral Claws might be a successor of the Raven Guard too, which is to say you can think of at least one legion that not only is, that's more than just like the traitors that bombed you guys. It's also those who did not toe the line to the Imperial dictates.
Yeah. So I think he's sensitive to traitorous behavior, traitors chapters, etc.
Okay, love it. What about Nazaratus? What do you hate?
I think I still hate the demon I cast out.
Nice. Cast out?
That's like,
did it take?
Well, just so we know, apparently from reading the novels, you still have traces of it. So you still have a power that they.
So let me ask you this: when you have a small bit of an infinite being within you, does that mean you have an infinite amount of it in you, or?
No, just tiny bits.
Just a
I just wondered what that smell was in the.
So, what do you think your character looks like then? And there's a couple of you that we've talked about the physical changes to Raven Guard, the physical changes to Salamanders. I don't know if they have an illustration of the Salamander. Oh, they do. I think in Rites of Battle, is it? Or are the Salamanders only in First Founding? Or are they in Rites of Battle?
No,
Imperial Fists are in here, so I think it's First Founding. Angels. Because I think it would be... Oh, yeah. So check it out, Jeff. That's the physiological change I was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you think your dude looks like? They typically have like the red hair, red eyes, and that dark, almost chalky skin.
Yeah, like ashen skin. And I mean, we've talked about it in the past. Like, I think he's a really, towering, large, lumbering, sort of a mountain of a person.
Okay. What about Gevhart?
I think he's been growing his hair out to make a statement, because most Space Marines cut their hair short, and particularly the Black Templars. So I'm trying to decide if he's like sworn against cutting his hair for a certain reason, maybe something that happened. I'm still trying to piece that's part of it, but he's got long hair, or longer hair. It's probably down to here as opposed to a brush cut like most of the Space Marines.
Okay.
And yeah, just he's a little older, so he's kind of gray and a little salt and peppery, I guess.
Okay.
Probably gray and silver.
Nice.
Given the ages the Space Marines live.
Okay. And what about Velitis?
Yeah, I think Velitis, as we've already talked about, he definitely illustrates his the instability of his chapter's gene seed. So he is albino. His skin is white. His eyes are striking because his eyes are black orbs, and his hair looks like feathers just because it's kind of sticking out. But it's like sort of, but it's got that sheen of like black and sort of black sheen.
Mm-hmm. And what about Nazaratus?
In fact, I just sent you a picture of Nazaratus in the mail.
Oh.
So he is
Discord or in?
Oh, I could have done that. That would have been clever.
Oh no! Here, no, it came through. Ooh, so how would you describe that?
So, yeah, he's grey-haired, silver grey hair. It fits, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Tonsured back on the side, and a stern look, despite the fact that at moments he can crack to a more gregarious, more friendly. So initial impressions as he's grim, but he will. Anyway, yep.
Okay.
Cool. Grey hair at the top, nothing on the sides.
Yeah. He honestly looks like an aging footballer, to be honest. Right? Okay. Then, I think, so I closed my book because I think that was the last questions. Have you guys any questions? Now that we've got our kill team together.
But he did a Black Templar with a Punisher skull on the front, and it's John Barenthal's head. It looks awesome. Change my appearance.
No?
No, I think.
Okay, we have our hero.
Not yet.
Okay, we've got our Marines together. We've got them outfitted for their first mission. What I think, we haven't talked about what we're going to do for playing this, but what I think maybe the first thing we do is play through the adventure that's in the core rulebook. We started playing that a little while ago, but I think that is a nice short little mission that does not have, there's not a requisition phase in it. There's not a, it allows you to sort of learn the rules as they are. What you can do in the interim is your chapter, what are they called? Not stratagems. The squad mode ability and the solo mode ability. Your chapters will each have one for each of those modes, I believe. So if you could add that to your character sheet, then we won't have to look it up. Those are found in the combat. I think it's right before. What the heck is it?
Yeah, I think I'll need to pick one, so I'll agree with that with you before the next session.
Oh, sure. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, because there is solo mode chapter abilities that are on page 217. And then the squad mode abilities. And again, just write the ones down from your chapter. Because the codex ones are the ones that are selected. It's just the chapter attack patterns or defense patterns, depending on which one you've got. Wait, do each chapter have both? Oh, each chapter has one of each. An attack one and a defense one. Badass. So if you could write those...
So, like, mine would be in first founding, you think?
I'll double check. I think so. I think it's right at the end of where the chapter is for it. I believe it gives you your solo and then your attack pattern, defense pattern. Yeah, it does. It does. Because here's the
Master
white
of the Shadows.
So that's in the... Right.
Yeah, the Salamanders one is on page 24 and 25.
Of the first founding.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't suppose the Exorcist had any specific psychic ability, did they? Because some of the other... No, okay.
Oh, and don't... I have a curse.
Yeah. Oh, no, that only manifests... there's something that happens in-game that I don't remember what triggers that. You don't start with that.
Oh, okay.
The Primarch's Curse is something that comes... I can't remember if it's corruption or something else, but there's something that triggers that in the course of play. You're not going to start with that stuff. Just it's something that comes from each of the individual chapters. I believe. I might be wrong about that. I think that's the case. Is that the case? Does that sound familiar or correct, James?
I think so. Yeah.
Let me take a look at corruption.
So it's just the two things that we have: the attack pattern.
Three. There'll be a solo. There's going to be a solo ability you get when you're in solo mode, and then there's going to be two squad mode ones: an attack pattern and a defense pattern.
That's right.
Does it? Let me ask you. From first founding, page 18, there's a talent described there. Does it look like all Raven Guard get that talent, or do you have?
If there's a cost listed there, it's probably one you can buy, but not one you start with.
It's interesting. It's not. It's in the.
Which talent?
It's not in the page 18 in the call out box, bottom left. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
page
new
18.
talent, guerrilla training. Did it say that you started with guerrilla training?
Not really. It's a little confusing. It doesn't make it clear that you buy it. It doesn't really make it clear, but maybe you have.
Yes, it does, because if you look up at the top, it tells you that guerrilla training is 400.
Good. Never mind.
Yeah.
I gotta fix that.
Very good.
Okay. Hashtag Fireborn.
Yeah. Okay. So I had already put the one in the solo ability. I just need to add my squad abilities.
That solo ability is pretty cool because what that does is so you can remove unreliable, unbalanced, or unwieldy, which are all obviously negative qualities. Proven means it does minimum damage. So if it's proven 2, that means if you roll a 1, you always get a 2.
Oh, nice.
All of your damage weapons. So, yeah, it's a pretty neat ability. That's actually you can set that as well on your character sheet. So, yeah, then if we have that on there, though, that'll do that. And then what we'll do is, my thought is by playing through that first adventure, the mission to Tantalus, that'll give us a chance to do, to play through a pretty tight little mission. It also will, I know you guys will be disappointed by this. It does feature Tyranids a shit ton. So you have faced Gene Stealers in some of our 40K games, but you have yet to face, I think, proper Tyranids. So that means things like the Tyranid Shrike, and what other fun stuff is here? Where did I put all my Tyranids? Yep. The Hormigons. So just imagine about 50 of those things skittering across the ground towards you.
Last area of effect weapon out there.
Yep. That's where against the hordes, that is definitely a helpful thing to have. And I mean, there's no way that I would, have you guys encounter a hive tyrant, right? Like there's just no chance I would create a handout for a hive tyrant, and then also make you face a hive tyrant, right? Like that just seems very...
He's trying to throw us off. That's what it is.
Okay. Oh yeah, and we've also
trying to get us excited about the next session. Is that
Termagants as well, guys? So imagine, and what these things fire is little infectious bullets that get into your body and then keep crawling away.
Nice.
So, yeah. Which is to say, I'm really looking forward to next session, guys. This is going to be a great deal of fun. Yeah, and then what we'll do, this was very helpful in terms of like planning what I want to do, because we'll play that mission through, and then I think we'll have, I think it's an 8-part thing to go over the summer, and I'll figure out a way of structuring something to play just within that period. I also don't know how much XP we're going to give per session. I want to give you enough, and because we're playing such a short, relatively short campaign, I might give more than the 150 at normal, just so you guys can see some actual development with the characters. Because we went up to, I don't remember what the XP is in our Rogue Trader campaign, but I mean, like, you guys were much more, you're starting off with more XP in this, but I don't have an issue with you guys being powerful. There's always more, hive tyrants where that came from, so.
Indeed.
Always an opportunity to challenge. Then, any last things to say, guys, before we call it a session with our characters all generated?
For the Emperor.
For the Emperor.
Nice.
Excellent. Then, for those listening at home, we'll be back it won't be the Cronus Expanse, it'll be the Jericho Reach soon. And we'll be kicking off our summer Deathwatch campaign. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the game we played, the session, or the setting, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. My apologies to any 40K lore we did get wrong. We endeavor to try and get things correct, but remember, in 40K, you can't always believe what you read, so if we got it wrong, I guess my point is, did we? Did we? In addition, there's a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server where all of us are active, and we have channels there dedicated to the many 40K games we run on or the many Warhammer games we run on the channel, as well as channels for other campaigns we run, virtual tabletop chat, find a group, GM discussion. There's a terrific, helpful, knowledgeable, and friendly community over there. You're more than welcome to join us. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have an incredible selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs, like, I don't know, say, the Dark Eye role-playing game, published by Ulysses Spiele and played by us next Friday. There is, if they don't have something in stock that you were looking for, you can put it on a want list, and they'll send you an email when it comes in. And if you make a purchase of, actually, so the discount code does not work yet. I haven't got my updated one. Check my email. Didn't get the updated one yet, but we hope to have that for you soon. The last thing I will say is an enormous thank you to our stalwart kill team, guys. So Jeffrey, Dave, Sean, and James, thank you so much for playing tonight, guys. I am really excited to start putting these Battle Brothers through the paces and see if I can kill the kill team. I mean, see if we can have a great time with the kill team triumphing over the Emperor's enemies. That's what I meant to say. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time, but until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that will be soon coming to the enemies of man in the Jericho region. Until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.